Hello, everybody. Listening to the Fair Weather Podcast. Your boy 2K Suave. I'm joined with Mr. Alex Rodriguez. What's going on, partner?
Knicks balling, boy. Knicks
Man,
balling. I love it.
relax. Real quick. Because normally I wait till the end to say what I want to say. You know what they be saying: like, subscribe, follow, share. You know, bing bong. All right, make it. It's very simple. But I appreciate y'all tuning in for another week. It's been a very long day for me. Very long week actually. A-Rod, how's your week going? How's your day going? What's going on? What's the funniest, craziest thing you've seen in the last week of sports too?
Um, my week is starting. We're in the middle of the week. We're a hump day, but it's going.
It's about
It's
to
been a
be
crazy week.
Cinco de Mayo, brother.
Man, this is a dumb
About to be
American holiday.
Cinco.
Cinco de Mayo. No, man, but like playoff basketball is here. You've seen my emotional roller coaster with this team, and I'm definitely on track with them, and I'm believing in them. And I just got that one question for KD, baby. You about to be 0-2. Don't you wish you signed with the
Don't you
Knicks,
wish your man
baby?
want the
That's what I want.
Knicks? Don't you wish you play for the Knicks?
me and Danny Durant, he follows me now on Twitter. We're buds
Let's
now.
go
So like
Knicks. Let's go
we're
Knicks.
we're in there. Um, Draft day just ended. We're gonna give our grades on teams that we like, that we dislike, our sleepers, our teams. Not too fond of my draft day for the Jets. It was a little bit puzzling, but
I
they
can't
do
say the
things.
sing for myself. Boy,
I
I have
know. Don't
myself a
worry.
weekend.
We'll get there with that.
Boy,
And then I always tell you the Yankees are like the one team that makes me happy. And right now they ain't looking so hot, but
y'all
it's
got
the
injuries
injury
up the
bug.
wazoo.
It's the injury bug, and I mean, let's get it out the way early. But I need these boys to pick it up. And if there's anybody in the Yankee organization that would ever listen to this podcast, and I hope somebody is, please don't start Clark Schmidt anymore because that guy sucks. He's really bad. He can't win a game, and for some reason we keep rolling him out there against aces, and we know we're not going to win.
He getting the
So they're
paycheck.
down right now. He's getting a paycheck, but he's almost like Kevin Kiermaier major league looks with minor league talent, man. Like this guy ain't doing it for us. We need to bring somebody up from the farm and let him try it out. But Clark Schmidt ain't the answer right now. So
I seem very
but other than
harsh,
that,
sir.
hey, it is what it is. I watch a lot of baseball, you know that. So but my Knicks are balling, man. We got the Jimmyless Butler Heat yesterday, and big win in the Garden. Protect Mecca at all costs, man. Can't let them do it like that's to us 2 games. So loving it. Let's talk some sports.
Well, let me tell you about the funniest, funkiest, or craziest stat I've
Oh,
seen all week. You
you
go
go, and then
first,
I
though.
got
You go first, though.
mine was just gonna be that draft day was insane. Like it was a crazy draft day, and I think the craziest, like because we're gonna talk about the draft. I think it was the 2018 draft. I think that's the draft that it was with Becton's draft class,
What
Isaiah Simmons,
quarterbacks?
all of that. Can't remember.
Because you always remember about the quarterback.
Yeah, hold on. Let me look and see. Say yours. Let me get myself together here. Do
How is
yours.
it in the 401 draft picks that the Alabama Crimson Tide have loaned off to the NFL? How is Bryce Young the first number one overall pick from Alabama? That makes absolutely no sense. All the shit that Bear Bryant and Nick Saban have done, and they've only had one. That shit does not sound factual to me. So I went on Wikipedia to look it up. You can't really trust Wikipedia, but hey, I did. And the only other one, and I copied and pasted it. So there's an asterisk next to it. So I don't know why there's an asterisk, but it said Harry Gilmore, running back. So again, there's an asterisk. So I don't know what that means. But outside of this fake Harry Gilmore character, Bryce Young is the only player that Alabama has gone first overall ever in the history of the NFL draft. That to me is wow, shocking.
That is crazy to see. What
Like,
did
think
Joe?
about it. We
What did Joe? Wasn't Joe Namath the first overall pick?
no, no, Joe Broadway drove.
Or maybe it was AFL.
Oh yeah, he probably got drafted. Yeah, he got drafted in the AFL. That's right. So technically, if you want to count the AFL, that number might change. Cause I mean, yeah, 1965 AFL. It's crazy. You know, he got drafted in the AFL and the NFL draft. So he got drafted 12th overall in the NFL draft and first overall in the AFL draft.
That's
And he
insane.
probably got drafted to play baseball because you know everybody get drafted to play baseball.
It's true. That is true. So my crazy one was the 2020 NFL draft. That was Joe Burrow's draft class.
Yeah.
It's up for fifth year options on a lot of these players. This is the first draft class where a number of first round picks aren't getting fifth year tendered options. I think it's like the most in history. I think it's 18 of the 32, the most in history, or like
Did
20
they
of the 32.
did they give like a explanation as to why or
No, I mean it's pretty much on the team. Like Chase Young, that's a big one. Not
yeah,
getting
that
a
was shock. Well,
yeah.
I want to say it was shocking, but the injuries, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but at the same time, like when that guy's on the field, like he produces.
Exactly.
He's a bit, and he's a number 2 overall pick.
He tried
So
to be
like
an Eagle next year. I heard.
exactly, he's gonna go somewhere. He's gonna go somewhere good. As he drinks out of this Bucks cup. Anyways,
You know, I gotta support. I gotta support the wifey. You know.
um, Isaiah Simmons, for the Cardinals, he's one that's not gonna be re-signed. Jalen Rager, of course, they're not gonna re-sign that
Hell
guy.
no.
Mekhi Becton for us. I get it why we're not going to sign him, but like they've been sticking by him and going through the process of him healing and getting better and losing weight. Weight has been the issue with him. But
Yeah.
a lot of these players haven't panned out for the first round pedigree that they have. So that's the craziest one that I've seen, because usually your first round picks are almost like home run day one. Like you knew what you were doing in that draft. But it seems like 2020, outside the quarterback and a few of the players there, a lot of these guys aren't going to get a fifth year option. So the 2020 class, we may see them in new attire going
Yeah.
forward.
Okay. All right. All right. That sounds good. All right. Cool. Now, obviously, like we said, there's a lot of sports that's been going on, but it's like overwhelming. So you know, we already to get the bad out the way, the Lightning can't win at home. I don't know what the hell we did all year to get to the point to not be able to win overtime games at home. So they're out. So very disappointing. I work with a lot of people who, strangely enough, like a lot of people who I work with are either Islander fans, Ranger fans, or Devil fans. Like all three of them. So that's all I've been hearing the whole, bouncing around. But when you put these games on ESPN, because sometimes, like for example, last night, when the Lakers started down 2-10, I was like, I can't watch this right now. So I switched over to hockey. That shit got me captivated. It was a Kraken versus the Dallas Stars game. That shit was pop. That playoff hockey is like legit.
And what do we always say? I mean, we don't always say it, but like I think it was a stat that we've said, and everyone who watches hockey at the same time. If you win that President's Cup, like it's cursed. Don't go for that President's Cup. The Bruins
Yeah,
went out.
bruh. I am not
Bruins
shocked
went
at
out.
all because it just happened to us 2 years ago or 3 years ago, like when we won the
Best
President's
record.
Cup. That shit
You have
is
the best record.
is like, it's
First.
like you have so much pressure to live up to that right off the back. And you got this hungry ass don't give a shit 8 seed, and they're gonna beat you up. And that's what's gonna happen. So yeah, that one was wild.
It's crazy, man. But playoff hockey, it's different. Like if you're in the Northeast or up north, like it's different. In the Midwest, like that's life. I was
Yeah.
talking to a guy at the bar this weekend who was from New York, and he's a Rangers fan, and of course they got knocked out by the Devils. He's like, we were at a bar and we were watching the Maple Leafs and the Lightning, and as soon as the game was done, they put on the Rays game. He's like, if that was up north, people would be holding their heads. There'd be bar fights.
Yeah.
Somebody would be like pissed off. Like hockey's real deal. Like I still think Tampa is a hockey town, but shit, man, come on.
Ball,
Like,
ball is life. Puck is life.
yeah, bucket for the pucket.
Yeah, but yeah. So I mean, playoffs have been exciting. Cool. What else? Sport, baseball. Philly suck. What about the Yankees? How you feel?
I'm not happy about him. You already got my 2 cents on that, man. Just the
Bro,
injury. I mean,
yeah,
the AL East is still tight. But they need a lot of these guys to step up in place of the injured players and
yeah.
pitching, the bullpen, the hitting. It's all hurt, and everybody's like throwing shit at me. I'm like, well, the guys that you say that we paid for, they're not there. So it's like the other guys got to step it up, and it's tough when you're throwing in, Jamokes in there to do it, and
Yeah.
and and I get it, but like Willie Calhoun, really, Willie Calhoun and Frenchie Cordero and these guys, like put them on the Rays, they're gonna be 300 hitters for sure.
That's
So
for real, dog. But it's early. I always try to say it's early. I mean, I've been getting smacked up lately in fantasy baseball. I'm just trying to keep my wits together because I'm trying to trade for Bryce Harper. So, Will, I know you listening. I messaged you. I sent you an offer. So I'm trying to get Bryce Harper. All right, that's all I'm trying to say. But I'm getting smacked up left and right there, so that's a problem. But and Philly sucks. So baseball, hockey, we're done. Cool. Football. So we for me, it was the day after the Super Bowl. For this gentleman here, it was the day after the regular season ended because there was no
it
playoff.
was
Sorry.
it
Sorry.
was the day Aaron Rodgers signed for me. So
Anyway, they've been on countdown for this draft. We've all been on countdown for this draft. Like we've probably seen 500 mock drafts. We've created about 465 ourselves. We've seen. I wanted to yell at Mel Kiper and McShay. This is their Tom McShay, right? Yeah, I want to cuss both of them out because they always come up with outlandish shit. I want to shout out Bucky Brooks and Daniel Jeremiah. They were pretty solid with theirs.
yeah.
But now no more mocks. We got the whole thing together. We've made it. For me, my weekend, just to give you a little synopsis, if you're watching the telecast right now, I got a Philadelphia Eagles helmet on my right, and I got a Georgia Bulldog helmet on my left. And listen to me, I never thought I would be a Bulldog fan, but hey, I guess so. You know what I mean? So go dogs. Not only do we draft Jalen Carter, Kelly Ringo, Nolan Smith, to follow last year's Jordan Davis and N'Kobe Dean, we also got what's his name, DeAndre Swift for peanuts, bro. I was at American Social at brunch. I don't know why I was there. You know what I mean? But I was there. And I'm, just watching the draft a little bit, eating my omelet, and I look up and I see breaking news, right? And it was green, and my heart dropped. Like my heart literally dropped. I almost dropped my mimosa. I was like, "Oh shit, we traded for DeAndre Swift." But like, I'm not around any Eagles fans, so like, I didn't know who to celebrate with. I was like, "Damn!" Like, I felt so like helpless. So it was a very good weekend for me. Howie Roseman, I tweeted all last year, masterclass, right? A year later, masterclass again. So I don't know why y'all letting him, why y'all answering the phone when he makes a trade, because you about to get fleeced. like you don't
The
understand.
Danny
This
Ainge.
dude is a like a so by the way, he's a Florida Gator. In case you guys didn't know that, he is a Florida Gator and drafting all these Georgia players. But he's a wizard now. I think ever since he fucked up and drafted Jalen Rieger, he's been on a tear ever since. He's been on a tear ever. I mean, he drafted Jalen Hurts right after that and started building this team up that we have right now. So shout out to shout out to my boys. But yeah, for
All right,
you,
let's not talk about you. Let's talk.
I
Let's talk
said
about
I
this
said
draft.
for
Come
you.
on, I know you're happiest.
What about your Jets?
My Jets, I'm not happy with their draft. Let's just be honest. So,
But break it down. Like let the people know. We got some Jets listeners on here. Let them know why.
I mean, for me, I feel like there's better players on the board that they could have got, but
Did you address
I think
needs?
Yeah, we did, but I feel like there were still better players on the board that we could have gotten. But they did their homework. I guess I didn't do my homework on a lot of these guys, but through the first 3 rounds, our first pick was McDonald, who I said
Will
was a clear
McDonald the
cut.
fourth, who we're just making fun of a week ago. How
You
the
said it
hell?
sounds just like
How the hell was that the pick? Like I didn't even want to text you. I was like, I don't know what the hell that was.
they 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 see him as the best pass rusher in football, and I don't
Child,
know if that's true or not. But it is what it is, man. Like I'll live with the pick. I'm not happy with it. Um,
yo, but check me out. You know how like we always look in the future, like, oh, 5 years from now, are they gonna regret the draft, right? So names to look out for. So after Will McDonald, some names I will look out for that you might regret not having. Christian Gonzalez. You don't need a corner, but damn, that would be lockdown
don't need
city.
him.
I think he's gonna be legit. If Kalijah Casey is really Aaron Donald, you gonna be pissed the hell off that you went after that
I
one.
will.
Did you feel like you needed a receiver?
We got one, but no, we got him late. I
So
don't
you
think we
wouldn't have
really need
drafted
a
one in the
receiver.
first round, right?
Nah, I don't
Okay,
think we need
because you
that.
know they
We're
got the
we're
four in
good
a
with
row that
what
came
we got.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was definitely.
Nolan Smith. Nolan
Deontay
Smith. I
Banks. There
would
was definitely better players on the board. Nolan
I
Smith.
mean, Nolan Smith was there. But what really threw the wrench in all the gears and shit was the Steelers moving up above us. When the
Smart.
Steelers moved above us, the O line, then we were like, fuck,
They
the
knew
three guys,
I needed an O line. That was smart. That was smart old school Pittsburgh Steelers shit right there.
and they still got Joey Porter day two.
And
So
they still got
it
him. That's a beautiful story, by the way. Beautiful story. It's
it
like it was
is. It is.
inevitable it was gonna happen.
I mean, we addressed the O line in rounds 2 and 3, and I
Joe
like,
Tippmann, Carter Warren.
yeah, I've never heard of Carter
Wisconsin.
Warren.
Okay.
Wisconsin, yeah, those are
You
beefy
know,
boys. So like, I'm
that
okay
you
with
could
that.
trust Wisconsin. Big Ten,
Yeah,
you can trust that.
I'm okay with that. But like, I think Torrance was there. We could have got Torrance at that
Yeah.
pick.
Damn.
Um,
You're right.
yeah, and then the other Bama O line guy was there. Like, I trust
The one that
Bama.
we took.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there were guys we could have got. And even with McDonald, like there were other O line or D line guys that I thought were graded better than him. Like Brian Brees was there. Um, who else was there? I was looking at. Uh, but they swung and they missed, and that's okay. I love to eat crow on. I hope the guy like pans out and he's really good.
But you know the
But
truth.
that's homework. Yeah, man. I didn't see that one coming. So I'm not too happy with the draft class, but just get Quentin Williams signed and I'll be okay with everything. They picked up his 5th-year option, but I know he want or I think it's up for like contract year now. So like pay this man and get him back on the field. So
This is
we'll
like
see
the
what
most
happens.
this time of the NFL career for. I mean, we'll get to Lamar Jackson and Aaron Rodgers since last week. A lot of shit happened, but you see, like nowadays, you fall in love with a player that you guys draft, right? But you just have to kind of prepare that depending on how your organization is, it's gonna get really uncomfortable for your relationship with that player because now you're trying to assess him on a 4-year period. Like, well, he's hurt all the time, or he always misses tackle. Like, you know what I mean? Like now he's thinking about his contract. The team is trying to see what's the best, and we're making assumptions on whether or not you should keep that player. So it's like it's a really a funny divide how like right when it's about to be contract year, he's like, you're ready for hell. Like Dak Prescott, if you're a Cowboys fan, you knew that shit was going to elongate. Like I've been talking to Ron as a Ravens fan. Like that shit is stressful, not knowing if you're about to have your quarterback. So yeah, it's crazy. But I mean, I don't want to start off negative, but like I was gonna say, like one of my losers were the Jets.
Oh no,
I,
that's one of mine too. That's definitely one
and
of
I didn't
mine.
want to rain on your parade or nothing like that, honestly. But
No, no, you're not.
yeah,
You're
but
not.
like you said it, all. Like every time y'all drafted, like the between at least through rounds 1 through 4, there was always a better player on the draft. Like, yeah, you did your homework, but maybe your talent evaluator is not that good. Maybe he's not that guy, bud. Maybe you're not that guy. So if
We'll
everybody
see.
has so and so rated like this, or and you see his film and it looks better, and everything checks out at the combine, take that guy. Like, what's the concern? I don't know, but yeah, it was literally every round. I was like, oh. And I'm not counting like 5 through 7, like I was, but like the main rounds 1 through 4, like every single pick, I was like, I mean, he was there, like you said. Osiris Torrance is there. The hella pass rushers and linebackers and DNs and stuff were available after Will McDonald. So I mean, shit, I feel like everyone's gonna regret the whole first round letting Nolan Smith fall to us with our defensive scheme. There's gonna be so much regret in 3 years. Like how I regret not nobody taking Michael Parsons earlier than that. That's how I'm gonna be feeling. But I had 30 teams pass on him. That's fantastic. But yeah, I wasn't a fan. So no offense. No offense,
So what
bro.
do you want to do? You want to do our dislikes first, and then likes, and
No,
then
I just wanted to get that one out the way. So I want to start positive. Like this was a good
okay.
draft for a lot of different teams. So you'll go, I'll go. If we steal each other's, we'll just elaborate. All right. So
Yeah.
go. The first winner.
I mean, for me, the best one is definitely the Eagles. Like y'all, there's no one that touches what they did draft day. Like I'm being serious on that. I'm not trying to like hype you up, but for a team to have 2 first-round picks
Talk to him.
and you have Jalen Carter slip to you, like
Talk to him.
that's heaven sent. And then
Mind
you
you,
have
we were savvy enough to trade ahead of the Bears or whatever it was because we knew somebody else could have got that pick or whatever. So that was another Howie Roseman masterclass right there. But continue.
Then Nolan Smith sitting pretty for you at the end of the first round.
He
And
already
then you
had
go
green
get
socks on, by the way.
yeah.
He
And
knew.
then you go get Ringo and what was it, the third round? Like
Fourth
that's
round.
fourth round. And
Yeah,
then
we
you
got
got the
Sidney Brown in between that, and that Tyler
and,
Steen character you were talking about.
yeah, Tyler Steen, that was the other one, the O-line
Yeah,
guy. Like those are great picks for the Eagles. And it was addressing the need of yes, we lost some interior linemen. Yeah, we lost some of the linebacker core, and you got an upgrade in a corner in the fourth round that should have been a day 2 pick.
I
There's
thought
no
he could
reason
have been
for
a late first. Personally, I'm like this guy could go
yeah.
because we all value cornerbacks differently. So
Yeah, so it doesn't make sense for me for like those players to be sitting there for the Eagles, but they definitely took advantage of that. And I'll be honest with you, everybody that had who had day 1, 2 picks in the first round, they're all winners in my book. So
yeah.
for my first one, you can go with yours
Yo,
next.
I'll just follow up with you because I don't want to talk about my team too much. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't win the Super Bowl, so I can't talk my shit yet, but it's coming because Howie Roseman is in his bag right now, and y'all just letting him do this. Like y'all should investigate this man. Like, what does he have over y'all? Y'all just letting him get what he wants easily. And remember, y'all the Vikings, y'all laughed at us when we drafted Jalen Rieger. I remember y'all laughed at us. And we sent
It was
Jalen
on your
Rieger to y'all, and now y'all not picking up his 5th-year option. Stupid. Why'd you take him off of us? Clearly, we were able to use that draft pick from getting rid of him. I think we might have gotten Kelly Ringo with that pick. I got to double check. Or it was the 7th round pick, who I love. So the only pick I wasn't really crazy about was Tanner McKee, quarterback. Like we picked up Mariota. Why are we drafting the quarterback? There was definitely talent on the board at that point too that I would have been happy to look at. But Moro Ojomo, my Nigerian brother, who got drafted from the University of Texas. If you go on the Philadelphia Eagles page and look at the clip where he calls all the draft picks, when Moro Ojomo answered that phone, right? Mind you, this is the 7th round. And how he calls him, he was like, hey, he says, Moro. He was like, you want to be an Eagle? You want to get drafted? And then he started choking up, crying, bro. He's like, yeah, I want to get drafted. He's like, you want to be an Eagle? And then he goes into like a room and he calls like his mom or something. He was like, I'm being drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles. And the whole room explodes, bro. And that's, first of all, that's what I love about like sports. Like you can have beautiful moments like that, especially with the draft. You know, we have those situations in which we're praying for the demise of Will Levis, which I have to get to that because I have a problem with how I was thinking at one time in my life. But to see the elation of these players, it's beautiful, right? And the families, they know their lives are about to change. Like it's crazy, like what you could come from and where you can go after that. So, but Howard Roseman, he's just a dog, bro, like a bulldog. Oh my God, he's a dog for real. So that's gonna be my one of my positives. I'll just do my next one now. Might as well. I like the Atlanta Falcons draft this year. Obviously there's a lot of teams that we can look at, but I like the Atlanta Falcons draft because of the offseason that they've had. Like they've been making moves real quietly and address like Calais Campbell. They picked up Okuda for next to nothing, and if they don't really need him to be the guy, they have AJ Terrell. So I think that could be a sneaky good pickup. They've addressed linebacker. They've been doing a pretty solid job this offseason. And then you go into the draft, you get arguably one of the top 3 players in the draft in Bijan Robinson. Like we both mocked it in our last draft, mock draft that we had to him go there because although I really wanted him, in my head I was like, he ain't getting past Atlanta. Like Atlanta would be stupid not to draft him because they didn't really they need things, but they don't need a lot. And the best players available, you got to take them there. So that to me was a major win for them. Then they addressed O-line with the Syracuse offensive guard. They got Zach Harrison from Ohio State, who I'm actually a fan of as well. Obviously, playing against Ohio State every year, I know you get to pay attention to this kind of talent. So I think just addressing the needs that they had over the offseason and then getting the best player in the draft who could be like LaDainian Tomlinson, and then you shoring up your O-line a little bit too. I got to give my props off to the Atlanta Falcons. Go ahead.
All right, my next one, I'm gonna say the Houston Texans because
they did that thing.
They pulled the okie doke. Like we said, Will Anderson's going first, and I mean they got CJ Stroud. They changed their minds, but then hold up, we're gonna trade up to get the third pick too. Yeah, and they take the best defensive player in the draft or best player in the draft, in my opinion. I think that they addressed a lot of other pieces they needed. I like the linebacker they got from Alabama, the Samoan dude, Tua Toa.
I love that pick.
I love it too, man. It's
I'm
a
so
weird
jealous.
pick, but me too, man. You know how I feel about Samoans and defensive Samoans and ones that come from USC programs.
They hungry, dog. They hungry.
This is one that escaped from USC and found his way in the SEC. So like he thrived, and I think those are good picks for them. They definitely have to build on everything on that team. Maybe outside of the running back, but they definitely got better. So you got possibly one of the best quarterbacks in the draft, probably top 2.
Real quick. Because if we look back at so many of these last few draft classes, there's only ever really one good quarterback out of that draft, maybe 2 in the first round. The rest of them come from like the second and fourth out of nowhere, right? But all these drafts. Well, we got Jameis Winston and Andrew Luck and RG3, and I mean we cross the board. Jared Goff, Carson Wentz. It's like it don't be working out. It's always going to be a bust in that draft, maybe more than one. So if you look at this first round, maybe let's look at all the quarterbacks, Hendon Hooker as well. Who do you think has the biggest bust potential?
See, I don't like to label players busts
This
in my
okay.
in my personal opinion,
Who do you think
because I
is not in the best situation to be successful in?
oh, well before you go on, like I think like it comes into the system you're drafted in,
Yeah,
and fifth year options. They don't pick up your fifth year options. Teams look at you as like a viable backup after that. And if you don't put talent around these guys for them to be successful, then they start to fall off. The only one that I can say that would be a bust in my personal opinion is Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz had all the tools to be really good, and then just fell
no,
off the
talk
face of the earth.
about this draft class right now.
I know. I'm just saying, like in general, with that,
Oh,
like a lot of these guys that go first round, some of them are just scared, need a quarterback, and we're like, that's definitely not a guy. Like RG3 should have been a day one guy. It's unfortunate he got hurt.
yeah.
Jameis Winston should have been a day one guy. Just the Bucks didn't have a good old line around him, and they didn't have really a good defense around him, and he had to
And
go
they
out there and
didn't
throw.
have a good person watching him because he was doing stupid shit early on in his career.
Exactly, exactly. And Mariota, like, where did he start off at the Titans? Like
Yeah,
they
he's
sucked
bouncing
in the beginning.
around now like
Yeah.
a $2,
So
you know.
like I said, if you don't get the shit done there, it's like you're now a backup is what you're going to be. So I pray that these NFL teams look at these guys and build around them, just like the Texans are doing for Stroud. So I think the one that would be the biggest bust for me, um, I don't know, man. I don't want to be that guy, but I feel like Levis is going to be that guy. I feel like they hyped him up to be all of this, and we got that news the day before the draft about his stock shooting up the ladder right
Yeah,
now,
I
which
was
I
like,
think, like
bro,
I
Vegas
said,
had him
it
number.
was
I'm like, bro, what the hell is wrong with y'all, bro? Y'all be
it
losing
had to
money
be
right
someone
now.
within the camp. Had to be someone within the camp leaking that to
This is
try and
Reddit.
yeah. So I think him only because one, I saw his demeanor when he didn't get called day one, and I just
Do you know who I thought of?
who
I was like,
I thought of
he's gonna.
Geno Smith. I thought of Geno
Yeah,
Smith.
that was similar, but I thought like you know how Josh Rosen came out pissed off. Yeah, I'm gonna make everybody pay for not draft. I feel like Will Levis has that same exact trait, and he's
Yeah.
gonna go out there and just try too hard and superhero that shit and be trash.
And
That's
and the other,
yeah, and I agree with you basically.
and the last thing I'll say is like I feel like the Titans are a team that's not putting together a good product around them because they're already linked to possibly moving on from Derrick Henry. So if they get rid of Derrick Henry, like what's really good that like Taylor Lewan's gone, I think. A lot of that O
They
line
picked up Skoronski though.
they did, so that may be good.
That's great.
Mm-hmm. But I that's the only one that I see because the Colts got a
Yeah.
good line. They've got young weapons on that team that are there for a bit. The Texans, they could use a receiver, but I mean they got a young core there. Damian Pierce looks good,
Oh
and
yeah,
the
David Pierce is
Panthers,
nice. You're right.
and the Panthers like they put together a team overnight. Like they literally wiped the board and put together a whole new team.
That's how
So
you know they love their quarterback already.
I mean,
They ain't waste no time.
Hendon Hooker could be another one. Like if Jared Goff just keeps balling like he is with the Lions, then they could just be like, you're going to sit, and we could get the weight process for the Hendon Hooker to come in. So
So can I steal? I'm gonna steal that right now because it's like a perfect transition for where my head was at. So we're doing draft winners and draft losers, right? I had one team that I put in my draft. I don't know, and that's the Detroit Lions. Like the Detroit Lions could
I
be
think they had an amazing draft, by the
no, no,
way.
no. I'll
Amazing.
tell you. I'll tell you why. Okay, the Detroit Lions could be like, damn, they had a great draft, and then 3 years down the line, they're very susceptible to be like, why the hell did they pick so and so and so and so? So, let's just get to that, right? Um, Hendon Hooker, right? I think he's going to be a fine quarterback, but yes, what if he don't even see the field because Jared Goff is that dude? You know what I mean? Like Jared Goff has been to a Super Bowl. Jared Goff looked pretty decent in this offense last year. Like I think the number one scoring offense, if I'm not mistaken, right? So obviously there's some talent still there. So is it going to become a situation where like Garoppolo was waiting on Tom Brady, like, yo, when am I gonna get your job? Like it's gonna be a situation like that.
Jordan Love,
I
basically
don't
Jordan
know
Love.
because keep in mind, Hendon Hooker's already like 26 years old, so I think they brought him in to be the guy. But what if he's not ready? I mean, he's coming off of an ACL surgery, so you got to be real careful. Jahmyr Gibbs, I love the player. Okay, I love the player. Absolutely love the player. You did not have to reach at 12 to get that. When you have the 18th pick as well, you have the 18th pick as well. Nobody is getting Jahmyr Gibbs. Nobody is getting Jahmyr
But
Gibbs.
so you say that, but like I was watching a lot of the beat writers saying a lot of teams were putting him in the first round, and there were
I I
teams that
I put them in the first round.
The Bills wanted him. Bills wanted to move up to get him.
I,
The
I
text,
thought that they would want to do that.
yeah, the Bills, the Chiefs, because the Chiefs didn't extend Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They were one that wanted to move up to get him too. And there were, I think the Bears may have been another one, and I forgot who the other one that was.
None of them was
There were
going to
teams
12.
huh?
They'll move up into the 20s. They ain't moving to 12. I promise you that. To go get a running back, you don't do that.
And we may sit here and say that and laugh at. Like we also said that there were no good linebackers on the board. They got one of the best tackling linebackers on the board.
They
I was
did.
like, that's a day one.
They did, but he would have been there at 34. That's what I'm trying to say.
He would have.
Jahmyr Gibbs would have definitely been there at 18. Jack Campbell would have definitely been there at 34. So, like, to me, they wasted 2 picks right there. You got the player, but you could have got an extra player and an extra player because those guys are still going to be there. Now, I do like the Brian Branch pick. I love the pick. And I do, so that's why I put them as my I don't know. I didn't put them as my loser or my winner. I put them as like I don't know, because to me they left so much like, oh,
I put him as
you
my
could have got this. You know what I mean?
I put him as my sneaky because like first round they probably could have did better, but they also addressed what they needed. They went
Sam
and traded
Laporta.
DeAndre.
You like him?
He's a good tight end. He's probably the third best tight end on the board, and he comes from what is it, Iowa? So Iowa produces.
He gonna be a bust.
Hey, Iowa produces tight ends. Man, they had 2 tight ends get drafted in the first round one year. So that's all I can say. The Midwest, they produce O-line and they produce tight ends. That's for sure. So we can sit here and laugh at this, but like, they knew what they were doing, and like they got rid of DeAndre Swift, so they needed to plug that hole and fill it. So they went and got a young running back you don't got to pay for a very long time, who's going to be really, really good. And I like that pick a lot for them. I like that pick. I think, yes, it is a reach. I think you could have gotten better, but in the later rounds, you definitely addressed what you needed. You let Hawkinson go, a tight end from what school? Iowa. You replace him with Laporta, another tight end from Iowa, and then you steal Brian Branch in the second round, who should have been a day one pick,
which I agree with.
So I tip my hats to them. Like I like their draft, but I put them as my sneaky one because these guys could pan out. They already did like rookie projections, and they said rookie to lead the league with most tackles. They said it's going to be Campbell is going to be the guy.
Yeah, because he's a middle linebacker. They always lead the league in tackles. That's natural. And if he's a starter day one, of course he's going to lead the league in tackles. That's nothing new. But that don't mean he's the best player available at.
I agree, but they got
when
young
you know
guys.
He's going to be there at 34. Why get him at 18?
Bro, you might not know that. There might have been teams calling up to get him. I want to believe that too. I know the Jahmyr Gibbs hype was real. I know teams are trying to move up to get him. So it could be a panic pick. Bro, it could be I 100% agree with you. It is a panic pick. Yeah. But it looks good on paper. If the guy pans out, we'll be sitting here eating crow and Jersey's going to sell, that's for sure. DeAndre Swift jerseys are gone. Gibbs jerseys are in now.
I
So
appreciate y'all. They
so
gonna
that
rue
was
the day when
one of my
they got rid of this talent, boy.
my last draft that I liked were the Seahawks. They were the ones that I liked too. So you
Legion of
went and
Boom.
got a lockdown corner, huh?
Legion of
The
Boom.
Legion of Boom.
Yeah.
We've been talking about it all year. What's the best scheme for defense? Get you two badass corners.
Lock
Get
that
you two
shit
badass.
down.
You got that kid who tried to get defensive player or rookie of the year. He didn't. Thank you to Sauce. So
Sauce.
he had a great year.
Think about it,
And then you're
Sauce
comparing.
too.
Hmm?
I was just saying, like, even like think about it, a rookie cornerback that's gonna lock down. Sauce got it, homie got it, and now they drafted another homie who got it. So
Yeah.
obviously it's gonna work.
So they just got younger. They're replicating what the Jets are doing. We went and got the guy from the Seahawks, and they're replicating that, but
Did
younger.
they get Wagner
So you
back
got
too?
Yeah, they got Wagner back, who's just
Oh,
a tackling
okay.
machine. So you've got Witherspoon, you've got homie on the other side. I can't think of his name to save my life. And then with your second in the first round, you get Jackson Smith and Jibba, who's we said Tyler Lockett's getting up there in age, but
Yep.
he's going to learn behind him. And then you'll have that to pair with DK Metcalf for the upcoming years, which is going to be really
best receiver
they
in the draft.
upgraded a lot. And I like their draft a lot. I thought they had a solid draft class, getting O linemen, interior linemen. Al Woods came to the Jets today, so they fixed a lot of things that they needed. So I like their draft a lot. Those are my three likes: the Eagles, the Texans, and the Seahawks.
I don't know how I skipped the Seahawks. They had a phenomenal draft. I'm very, very like impressed. First of all, obviously it's hard for me to pay attention to cornerbacks during a college football season because it coincides with the Philadelphia Eagles playing as well, and the University of Michigan and USF, unfortunately. So I have so much other stuff to worry about than to worry about how good cornerbacks are, right? However, because you get to the draft process, you look up players and you watch film. And I was watching this Devon Witherspoon film. I was like, oh, he's Sauce Gardner. he a big, tough corner. So for them to understand the assignment, they did that. To me, that was phenomenal pick to get Devon Witherspoon there. Because to me, again, you get a Sauce, he wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. And the other corner was in second place, right? So clearly, these guys are pretty good if you're drafting them this high. And then you get the best receiver available in the draft, Jackson Smith and Jigba. Look, as much as I don't care about Ohio State, I'll tell you one thing: they putting receivers in the league like money now. Like whatever the NIL deals over there for like gloves and some shit, I don't know. The NIL money is working for these receivers, so I think they got the best receiver there. They got Zach Charbonnet, former Michigan player, went to UCLA. I love this kid, man. He's really good. And now you get, how your running backs are always hurt. You got to start being ready and preparing for that. So to me, Zach, like they got rid of Penny. Thank you for that too. But now they can replace Rashad Penny right there. And you just look at the rest of the picks. Derek Hall from Auburn, Cameron Young from Mississippi State. They got another Michigan player, Mike Morris. Even Oluwatimi, bro, the center for the Michigan Wolverines. Do you know how good we were running the football? Like, it was because of him. Like, he was a dog. I don't know how he fell to 154. The Seahawks got themselves a run blocker for real, for real. So you got those. You got what's the guy that drafted last year? Walker. You got Kenny Walker. You got Zach Charbonnet. You got some talent back there.
You saw what Pete Carroll said. He's like, this kid's going to compete with Walker for the starting job, which I think is bullshit. Walker definitely has that chokehold, but I mean, it lights a fire into the kid's ass to be it, because what has been the Achilles heel since beast mode has left has been the running back. Every year it's like
rotation.
Guy. It was Penny. They got Penny in the first round. He didn't pan out. Then they had like another guy. They had McKissick there for a bit who played a little bit. They had so many running backs in there. So now you've got a guy that you can say, all right, this is our guy, but you're going to compete with him to show us why you're that guy. And I like that from them.
Yeah, and you didn't have to reach. You didn't have to reach to go get him because look, Jameer Gibbs is going to be fantastic. Okay, I'm sorry I have to go back to this, but like you ain't got to reach to get a good solid running back. So I did like that. I am definitely a fan of that draft. Um, if I don't really know if I have any more. I mean, the Bills, I did like them getting Dalton Kincaid and Osiris Torrance. I think Chicago did a decent job. Javon Dexter in the second round or third round. Yeah, second round. Darnell Wright in the first. They kind of reached on him a little bit, but that would probably, if they got Noah Sewell, who I'm a fan of as well, that one
Yeah,
kind of might have.
I like that a lot. They got him
Yeah,
in the fifth.
yeah.
I feel
Getting
like
him in the
that guy
fifth.
should not have been graded as a fifth rounder. Like, there's no way.
I know. That's why I'm saying again to the Lions. You ain't got to go reach to get the middle linebacker. They will be there in the second, third, fourth, fifth round. They're always there.
I mean, they did, but they did that. They did that with Malcolm Rodriguez last year, and the kid's panning out. He's the starter.
No, Malcolm Rodriguez went in the sixth round. That's not reaching. That's exactly where they got him in the sixth round.
I know.
So why do they feel the need to go in the first round and get another one?
Why do you trade away the guy who leads the league in touchdowns for Montgomery, who's always got concussions? So I don't get it. There's something they saw, and let's just go on. Who didn't you like in the draft? Who were the teams you didn't like in the draft? Because I got my three.
I know off the top for me. I'm start off with the LA Chargers. I don't like none of the shit they did.
Oh, bro, I like some of their picks.
I don't like Quentin Johnson. I don't see the hype. I know you're a USC guy. That's why you're in love with Thule.
I love him.
I know, but
I love them.
To me,
and they need D-line.
That's a linebacker. They didn't need that. To me, like they didn't address a need there. They got another linebacker, Deion Henley from Washington State. They got another receiver who I have not seen anything positive about, Darius Davis, but he's a TCU guy, so they assume the Big 12 they can all score. That means they must all be great. No, it's because the defense is horrible. Okay, I mean the rest of the draft, and then they got Max Duggan, their quarterback. Like, what kind of loser shit is that? We're gonna get Duggan.
I like
Quentin, and let's some lose. That's loser shit.
let's not poo-poo on Quentin Johnson yet. I know we're not like saying anything about it, but they needed to get a receiver, and
they had the second receiver pick. No,
they did.
They had the first receiver pick, and they chose.
No, they had the second. They had the second. Yeah, because Jackson went ahead of him. Jackson went ahead of him to the Seahawks.
Better be right.
I got it right.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so he was the second one available. I know you like Jordan Addison more than him. I know you do.
I know, but I think that would have been a better.
See, you like Zay Flowers more than him too.
Yeah, I have Quentin Johnson is graded as my third best receiver on the board. I have him graded at 3.
Who's number
Jackson
4?
Is 1, and 2 is Addison, and 3 is Quentin Johnson, and 4 is Zay Flowers. And I put Zay Flowers there because where he's supposed to fall is definitely to the Ravens.
I watched his film. That dude is a route runner. And if you can run routes like him, it don't really matter what you do. Remember Wes Welker? It didn't matter what you did. His routes, Cooper Kupp, Chad Johnson, when your routes are that crisp, Antonio Brown, you could be 5'9" or 6'2". It don't matter. You can't be covered.
But they want a big receiver, and this is the biggest one of them.
Right.
So
Justin Herbert.
Listen. I really don't care because I'm not a Charger guy. I'm just saying.
You are. I know you were called a Chargers fan. You told.
I used to be. But like I'm about my Jets, bro. It's all about the Jets now. But I get the pick, get a big receiver because Keenan Allen's always hurt. Mike Williams he's got the same body style as Mike Williams, and Mike Williams is a mystery. He's always hurt too. I like their day 2 pick. I like the 5th round pick in Jordan McFadden from Clemson, the interior O-line guy. I like that a lot because they got to get beefy on the O-line to help with homeboy. But the rest of it, it's booty to me. But I did like
draft was trash. Right.
it was at best the average for me.
It was at best
At
a
best,
C
yeah.
minus. If we're giving out grades,
All
at
right.
best a C minus. Don't see it.
All right.
Who's your loser? What
All
are your
right.
losers?
So we already did the Jets. They were my number one, biggest one.
I'm
They
sorry.
definitely
I'm
missed on a
sorry,
lot
bro.
of
I'm
players.
sorry.
No, it's okay. The one that I had, another one that I had two more. I have two of them on here to follow up from the Jets. Is the Commanders. I feel like the Commanders definitely took a big whiff on a lot of things as well. They they didn't draft a quarterback. I thought that's something that they should definitely go after. But they took Emmanuel Forbes at 16. In my personal opinion, I feel like there's better players on the board than Emmanuel Forbes you could have got.
Just like
But
Jameer Gibbs and and Jack, whatever his name is.
yeah, they took another DB in the second round with Martin from Illinois, but he played with Witherspoon,
Witherspoon.
so maybe
And
they look at the tape.
we got Keely Ringo in the fourth round. Oof. Well,
Yeah.
disgusting.
Back-to-back O-line from Arkansas and Utah. Okay. KJ Henry, I do like that pick for them from Clemson. He's a good rusher. Him and Murphy were solid on the Clemson line. I like Chris Rodriguez a lot, maybe because his last name is Rodriguez from Kentucky. I like that running back pick.
Nerd.
They needed any help they can at running back because they just don't have faith in the one guy they had there for the last 3 years, and then they got the kid from Bama, and he looks like he's got it going, but there's just no openings from in that O-line. And then they got the Andre Jones from Louisiana, which I don't see any hype behind. I think I was like a second or third stringer from Louisiana, but I didn't like their pick. I feel like they need to address the quarterback situation. They, like you said it, they're in love with this guy Howell, and I don't see why. But
bro, I'm sorry. Call me crazy,
but
right?
I also, yeah, but I also tip my hat to them because he was what, a third round pick that they took him.
Was it?
He might have been
fourth. It was like fourth. It was like fourth.
Okay, but
Yeah.
you saw that potential there, and
Yeah.
you're sticking with it. So I can give them that. But I still think that you got to think for the future. Maybe they're thinking they're going to be that bad they can suck for Caleb Williams, but I would have taken a quarterback here and have that in there for competition with Howell, because I don't think that's the answer. So I had the Commanders as a loser for me.
How are you feeling about maybe I have like some West Coast bias right now, so I'm feeling bad. I'm feeling frisky, right? How are we feeling about the Raiders draft?
That's my sneaky one.
Sneaky good?
You told me to get
sneaky good though. That's to be sneaky smelly, bro.
I don't know. They definitely got one of the guys who's coveted in the draft in what's his face, the guy from Texas A&M.
Why though? Texas Tech, Tyree Wilson. Why? Because everyone fell in love with him, but like, what if he's not him?
Well, what if he's not? But like, I thought it was for where he was, because you had him going 3, and I think I had him going
only
like
because
5 or 6.
I listened to too much podcasts. That's the only reason why.
But I think he has all the hype to be really good. They got Tyree Wilson. They got
over Jalen Carter.
Character issues, and the Raiders said we're not dealing with character issues anymore.
Yo, real quick, speaking of that, Henry Ruggs, the shit sucks. Okay, so just remember, guys, split second shit can fuck up your whole life. So just be careful out there. Cinco de Mayo, whatever, like just be careful. Like Uber is there, bro. So like, I mean, his career is ruined over one little mistake. So
just because you got a nice shiny set of keys in your pocket doesn't mean you got to get in that car.
Ain't nobody trying to see them keys anyway, bro. So anyway, continue.
But they got the second best, possibly the best tight end in the draft to replace.
Man, he ain't better than Luke Kincaid.
Hey, he was the second best one, so he could be better. You never know. You never know about this shit, bro. Like, these tight ends, they just blow up out of nowhere sometimes. But they definitely got the second best tight end on the board, and it was a tight end take. Laporta was taken above him, So the Lions went that route. So they got Mayer, and then they got another crazy stat you can say
And
with two
remember, Dan
Bryant.
Campbell was a tight end. He might know a little thing about tight ends. I'm just
He
saying.
might,
Just
he
saying.
might. Who knows, bro?
You
But
know you
like
love that boy too. So
I do, but this was the second graded tight end out of this draft class. I don't care about what Dan Campbell thinks, whatever. But then they got, like I said, another crazy stat. Two Bryant Youngs were taken in the third round, one from Alabama and one from Tennessee, and they got one of them. And I like that pick for the D line. That's a
why?
good pick
Because
for
he's an
them to get
Alabama
right.
player. That's it.
No, I remember seeing his name. Like he was
Their
definitely
defense
graded as
was
a.
pretty trash this year.
They were, but I remember seeing his name. I follow Alabama sports, and like he was a good rotational player for them and a good D line guy that they had. So I like that. I like their draft class. I thought it wasn't a bad class. It was a sneaky one for me.
Not a fan. Not a
All
fan.
right.
Because I'm all about look at the draft board. So I'll give you an example. A couple years ago, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers drafted OJ Howard. And to me, I was like, really? Right now? I mean, he's good, but shit, you can get other players. You know who they drafted him over? TJ Watt. And that's what I say. There's better players. Take the better player. Don't take OJ Howard. So that's how I look at a lot of these drafts, like the Chargers, like the Lions, what I'm confused about, and like the Raiders. I'm like, all right, cool. Tyree Wilson's good. But Jalen Carter's way better. He is the best player in this draft, in my opinion.
Like, but you're also going back to what you said to me, like forcing me to think another way.
But
It's character issues, man. And the
I
Raiders have
do
had
that.
that.
Hey, listen. I will agree with one thing. If they drafted him in Las Vegas, they would ruin his life. So that's the one thing that I'll actually agree with, which is why maybe the Tyree Wilson is not a bad pick because, damn, he would end up like Henry Ruggs. Like he got nobody. Like now he's with Philly. He's got Fletcher Cox to watch him, to talk to him. He's got Brandon Graham to watch him, to talk to him, and he got his homeboys from college, so he can feel comfortable.
Yeah, he's
and
got
don't
a
do no
grown team
wild
around
dumb
him.
shit.
Yeah, he's got a grown team that he can grow and become a leader on this team eventually.
You know who he
But
did his visit with when he did his pre-draft visit? Jason Kelsey. Like, come on, we're putting the right infrastructure around him early, so we ain't got to worry about this shit. Happened to Warren Sapp.
and you also have and you have your former teammates with you too, so you feel at home as well.
Your homies is
Could
there.
you imagine? Could you imagine his first visit encounter if he went to Vegas? It'd be Max Crosby. I'm not taking away from Max Crosby's game, but he have to hear like I had to endure all these things and alcoholism and I'm
Yo,
like
they still
that's
had
a hard.
Darren Waller too. Yeah, let me talk about my
Yeah,
story.
yeah, like it's the Raiders are it's a rebuild mode for them. It's a complete rebuild mode on the defense side. So I like that pick. I think that's a good pick. I don't have any problems with Jalen Carter slipping because you come out smelling like a white mushroom, but I like them with the um Tyree pick. So
I don't like it, but hey, give me another one of your losers if you have any more.
Losers, you might disagree with it, but I have the Cowboys as my third losers because Mozzie Smith is a day two. I know he's a Michigan
Hey,
boy.
go blue though, go blue. They drafted two.
Hey, whatever. Don't. So you're gonna root for the Cowboys now?
Hell no. I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan now.
so so Mozzie Smith is a day two pick in my book. They grade him. Could you imagine? Could you if the Cowboys would have got Nolan Smith and Micah Parsons on the same team, like it would have been game over. It would have been game over for that defense.
But instead, we got Nolan Smith and Hassan Reddick, who had more sacks than your boy, by the way. All right, continue.
Don't take away from Micah Parsons' game. Now you're just hating. But like,
hey, bro, I showed you the statistics.
If you would have gotten those two, like I feel like they're what you've been preaching. They're better players on the board. Yep. Mozzie Smith is a day two pick. So you could have easily had Nolan Smith and you would have the greatest freaking edge rushing in all of football right there.
Scary
right
hours.
From day one.
Scary hours.
Yeah. But you didn't. You took Mozzie Smith.
Shit, wasn't Breesy available too?
Yeah, and he was available too. But I don't like that fit for them.
They took him over Brian Breesy and Miles Murphy? Stupid.
Yeah, Miles Murphy was the one that I was going to say too.
Stupid.
So Miles Murphy slipped, and I told you he's probably going to slip too.
Yeah. He was
But
right.
Mozzie Smith, they're already grading him as probably the draft bust of the first round will be him, is what a
Yeah.
lot of people are saying. Shoemaker, I don't know. You might know a little bit
Go
better.
blue, but he's good. I mean, he's good. Like, think about it. We Big Ten too. He's good, but like you know how like what's his name, Dalton Schultz. He didn't really impress you, but he did well. That's kind of what you're gonna get from Shoemaker. Like, oh, he ain't really impressive, but hey, he keeps the chains moving. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of player he is. But uh and then DeMar Overshawn, he all right, but come on, man. What did Texas
Yeah,
do? I mean,
but what I'm getting back to too, like
yeah.
they stay in the Big Ten and draft there. They stay in the SEC. I get that pick with Overshawn. Like, get a Texas boy, get people hyped for a Texas guy there. But the rest, like San Jose State, an edge rusher. I mean, he's
North
Samoan,
Carolina OT.
a North Carolina offensive tackle. Like,
My bad. I'm stupid. Offensive tackle, stupid.
Eric Scott from Southern Mississippi. I don't know. Deuce
Who?
Vaughn. I know that was a
All right,
sweet
that
pick
was the
for
only cute pick though, because like his dad worked
yeah,
for the team, so that was a cute pick.
yeah, and then it was. And Jalen Brooks from South Carolina. I mean, never heard of the guy, to be honest with you. But I don't like this draft class for them. I feel like they could have gotten better players where they were seated. I feel like Jerry Jones, this is a time for Jerry to make big moves when you're almost there. Like, the Cowboys are literally right there. And I feel like where they're honing in at now is just re-signing Zeke and bringing Zeke back, is what I keep hearing. So that's going to be their big acquisition, is going to be Zeke coming back. But they could have got better secondary, because the Cowboys need a better secondary. And I don't think any of these guys on the board here, or there's only one, Eric Scott, it's going to be worth the shit. So did they get anybody in the offseason? Did they get Gilmore? Where did Gilmore go? Did he go to Cowboys?
Oh, Stephon Gilmore, yeah.
Okay, so but he's
Good
getting
pickup.
old,
Hey,
man. Like,
good pickup. Good pickup.
great pickup. He was at his time. He was the best.
Yeah,
But
and
I feel like
he's gonna make Trevon Diggs a lot better actually. So that it does scare me a little bit because I got I got Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. That's why I wanted to get another receiver. But go ahead.
no, I feel like they whiffed on a lot. They could have gotten a lot. They could have had Branch. Branch was like a perfect cowboy right there to put in your backfield.
I'm happy they didn't take him.
I know. I know you're happy, but like, I feel like there's a lot of guys on the board when I'm looking at it that could have been there for them, and they whiffed and they choked and took Mozzie Smith there, and I'm just thinking like, you could have had better guys there. So Cowboys are gonna cowboy.
All right, can I give you my sneaky link?
Yeah, go with your sneaky one.
The New York Football Giants. Them boys.
I like their drafts.
Them boys. I hate to admit it because I have a lot of respect for Brian Daboll, so like I know he's a good coach. Like I'm there's no doubt in my mind or anything that will tell me that he's not a good coach. So they got rid of Gettleman, and they ain't been fucking up no more. Like they do the right thing now. Deontay Banks, he's solid. I was confused as to why they traded up one slot to get him. That was the only part I was like, but he's a good corner. They addressed offensive line, which they've needed to address forever. They get Big Ten center, John Michael Schmitz. Hello. And then they found a way to get Jalen Hyatt at 73. Where
and their round pick, I love
some of our mocks that we all seen. We've seen some of them go late first, right? You seen that shit too. Like, he was projected no more than 40, right? And he made it to 73. I was like, damn. Now Daniel Jones got a nice little slot receiver. That dude can run routes too. Like, he can run routes. He's quick. He's swift. And then they get Eric Gray from Oklahoma. Solid. So, yeah, I'm a little concerned, as an Eagles fan. I'm like, okay, they did that. They did something. So, but yeah, I'll give them as my sneaky link because they're going to sneak up on people. And I think they have the infrastructure in place now where they're going to start looking like the the Jets in the 2000 with Eli, where the quarterback is not that great, but he'll do just enough to get it over. And then you got all the other shit around him that fits. So I think the Giants, well, on some sneaky link shit, they did that. They did that. So that's my little sneaky link.
I like that. I like that pick. I thought they had a good draft too, but there was a lot of good drafts. There were a lot of bad ones too, and there were some puzzling ones as well too. But yeah, I like that for a sneaky one.
And just so y'all know, Howie Roseman, take the class. Y'all gonna learn something. Take the class. For our
Howie
listeners,
Roseman, I'm gonna say right now, Howie Roseman didn't do a master. Trading up to get Jalen Carter was the master class. Howie Roseman is just smart. It's not a master class after that. Howie Roseman saw the best available player on the board and was like, "There's no reason that guy is sitting there," and took it. There was no master class.
And
it was just being.
He was also smart enough to not trade up from 31 to go get Nolan Smith, because he watched the draft board. He was like, they ain't taking him. They ain't taking him. They go receiver. They go tight end. Like, and he just knew Jerry Jones would do something stupid. And then next thing you know it, he's sitting there right in our lap. So, yeah, that was some masterclass shit. But for listening's sake, because I know we got Tampa people who listen to our show, how do we feel about the Buccaneers draft?
I mean, their second pick was cute. The North Dakota meme guy, which
with no teeth.
Yeah, the first rounder can't see, like, Aaron Donald grades are good. Like, that's a good grade to have.
Scary, bro.
But I just didn't. It is, and you left him out the first round in your last draft.
I know I didn't do my film study on him enough. That was my bad.
I really didn't either. But like, small program, Pitt. Aaron Donald went to Pitt too. If that's the only thing that you're giving, then I don't agree with that. But I looked at his pass rushing, and dude is insane.
Yeah,
he moves around, and he looks like he's been through pain his entire life. So like, you look at his face, it's scary. So outside of that, I mean, let me look at the Bucks picks.
And keep in mind, Aaron Donald slipped in the draft to 13. So the Bucks got that, was that 17 or 6? Or, yeah, 19. They got him at 19. Aaron Donald slipped to 13. So
again, like, I don't get them. Like, they go get some DBs. They don't have any fucking DBs. They got.
You've been on that the whole time. They got the Kansas State.
They drafted three edge rushers. They drafted a linebacker. Oh, they did get one DB, Josh Hayes from Kansas State.
Yeah,
that name doesn't scare me, but we never know. They got a Jose Ramirez, which represented for the Latin community. I like that.
Eastern Michigan. Hey, there'd be some Latinos up in Michigan. It's crazy.
They like to go get Florida boys too. Look at what was it? Antonio Brown went there, didn't he? So get you some guys.
Chippewas. No, he went to Central Michigan.
Central Michigan, that's right.
Yeah, he went to Central.
I mean, Plus will be able to tell you better. I think their first pick, I think that's a home run for where he was sitting.
Yeah,
like
we should call Plus up.
He's huge. This kid is huge, man.
Yeah.
So he gives me like Gerald McCoy vibes with Aaron Donald syndrome type of thing. So we'll see what happens. The rest of it, I don't know. I really don't know. We'll see what happens.
I'm gonna check Real Bucks Talk Twitter right now, because they said it, what they wanted, how they felt. So I'm gonna see what Pless and the boys is talking about.
They were happy with it from when we were in the chat and I was looking. They were like,
what are the other names?
What do you mean?
The other guys on the show?
Mark Ramirez is the other guy.
Oh, that's right. It was like, I thought it was like Mike and Mike. Yeah, okay, bet. All right. So according to at Real Bucks Talk, Greg Allman, he's somebody who's interacted with me before on Twitter, because I was trying to call him out on some shit, and he talked me down. He was good. He was pretty good. He loves Jose Ramirez. He said, hello, Jose Ramirez. He likes him. All right, cool. Kalijah Cansey, Michael Pless is a fan. And he knows.
Yeah.
So he knows.
But that's a guy. That's a guy that should have won in the top 15 for sure.
Yeah.
There's no reason he should get it to 19.
Plus, you got your boy Todd Bowles. He defense, so it's gonna be like a Tony Dungy situation where he'll get that defense right back where it needs to be, and then somebody gonna come take that job and take him over the top. So I'm not sure how they feel. A lot of play like Yaya Diaby. I'm sorry, I did not see him. Payne Durham. I'm sorry. Like a lot of these guys, I'm like I don't really know. So the next level thinking, we'll see. They're I can put them in the we'll see category because so a lot of these experts and people, they gave them an A grade. So they must know something we don't. And we'll talk to Real Bucks Talk and let y'all know what he thinks. So go Bucks, local teams. Yay. All right. But overall, it was definitely a good weekend for the draft. My team got better. The Jets got Aaron Rodgers, which we haven't talked about that yet, have we?
I don't think so.
All right,
no, we did cover the last episode. We covered it.
You're right. All right, but yeah, just real quick. I've been seeing Aaron Rodgers at the Knicks game, at the Rangers game. He's making his rounds right now.
He's making his rounds, man. And New York is loving him. They're embracing him. He's practice. He's sitting with Sauce. The whole team.
I gotta say. When he was at the Knicks game, he was sitting next to Alan Lazard, right? First of all, I didn't know they was close like that. Like that, I didn't know that was his homeboy, like his best. That's his what's his name? Kumaro. That's his Kumaro now. But when what's his name? Lazard was sitting on the sideline with Aaron Rodgers. I swore I thought that was Josh Hart, bro. I'm like, he looks just like Josh Hart, dog. He had the glasses on, like he had a hat on too. I'm like, that's Josh Hart. What the hell is he doing on the bench? Confusing me.
Yeah. He was sitting with Sauce Gardner last night at the game. He's doing his rounds. He was sitting with Sauce Gardner and Jerry Ferrero was there with them too. And then to the right, I forgot who was sitting next to Sauce. There was another celebrity sitting there. But yeah, man, New York is embracing him.
Don't let him get too Broadway on y'all. He acted different.
He's not. Nah, he's chilling. Like he's not being stupid. He's not saying anything. He said on the McAfee show, like he's like, I've been waiting to come here. Like it was inevitable, I've been waiting to come. So I'm happy it's done, and the city is embracing him and they're loving him. The Rangers greeted him. The Knicks greeted him 2 nights. So keep the tour going. He looks good in green. He was throwing passes to.
Has he thrown the first pitch yet?
Hasn't yet, man. It's gonna come though.
Who do you think he's gonna throw for? Yankees or Mets?
I hope it's the Yankees first, man.
It might be.
I hope the Yankees.
It might be the Mets though.
Never know, but I hope it's the Yankees first. I feel like the Yankees are doing their job to get him there first. So we'll see.
We'll see.
I'm loving the vibe of him being there already. Like it's a different spirit already in the locker room. You haven't heard Zach Wilson's name at all. Now.
That's why.
Yeah,
but players play so much harder where they know they have a chance. Like that's why Tom Brady makes defenses better because we gonna sack this quarterback because we know Tom gonna get us there. You know what I mean? It makes him play so much better, higher level.
Yeah, and they're getting all the things that he wants outside of OBJ. I mean, like they were like, we got Garrett Wilson, and he's healthy and he's young and he's good and he won't recruit. Don't. I'm sure that cancels out.
Yeah,
but they got Lazard. Lazard's going to be a great second fiddle, or third fiddle, whatever they decide to do with Corey Davis. I don't know yet. And Mims is still there too. We went and got Randall Cobb today, which has to mean Mercedes Lewis is on the way there too. So,
y'all some nerds,
man.
Let's go get Aaron Rodgers' boy. Ain't make it out. I'd rather to the playoffs last year.
Doesn't matter. I'd rather those guys on the team because it's veteran leadership and they don't have to play. But if there's things that they need them to do, I'll be okay with it, man. You got McCole Hardman, who's won 2 Super Bowls. So you got him there to play the slot. Cobb can play the slot sometimes too, which would be good. He can make him a better player. He can make those receivers a better player. And then Mercedes Lewis, Azuma's 5 years old. I don't think Azuma. Yeah, like just he's a blocker. That's all he's there for. So, and special teams. So I'll be okay with it, man. I got no beef with it.
All right, and then is that, you think Lamar's? No, we didn't talk about Lamar because Lamar happened on draft day, right? Yeah.
Day
So this,
before, I think.
just so y'all know, the saga's over. We ain't got to do Lamar watching no more because that shit was getting scary. Like yo, what the hell? And I told y'all all along that dude is not leaving the team. I'm sorry, like he's not. The Patriots. I
No, I
thought
said it
about
too.
that for a second. I was like, nah, they ain't gonna pay him, so he ain't going to the Patriots. And all along, I was like, yeah, there's no way he's not going to the Ravens. So, definitely happy for him. Now, I've been hearing because everybody's like, oh, he did it without an agent. Blah, blah, blah. I've been hearing that they still have to read the language of his contract because there's probably areas on there where he may or may not have been fleeced. We don't know yet. But he got it done. His guarantee money is pretty good. He's if he accomplishes the whole contract, he's now the highest paid quarterback in the history of sports, and he can put that on his like on his tombstone, all that stuff. Like you could take that shit home with you because one thing that's important to people is like, what's my legacy, right? He could tell somebody at one point, I was the
I
highest paid
negotiated
player in the NFL. Like that's crazy. That's crazy shit.
and I negotiated it.
What's up? Yeah, and I did that
And
shit.
I
Me,
negotiated.
me and my mom did that because his mom is one of his advisors that kind of helps with. Remember during the draft process, like yeah, he doesn't have an agent. His mom is the one that's at the meeting. So shout out to Mama Jackson because she was been on top of this shit too. So, yeah, it's. I think the Ravens definitely did the right thing. I wish they didn't get this toxic. So hopefully it doesn't run into the season by any means. But I think they're addressing, look, Lamar, we really do love you. It wasn't just lip service, right? So let me go get you OBJ. Let me go get you Zay Flowers, right? Uh Hopkins, I heard apparently the Cardinals like, nah, he ain't going nowhere. But he said, yeah, I never asked for a trade, but he's still there. We can see what happens with that. But yeah, I feel like they've showed him good faith. Like, look, this is a business. Let's go get some cocktails and call it a day. You know what I mean? So I do like that he's back with the Ravens. I just feel like it just makes sense for the balance of the league. That is not something I had in my bingo card. Would be Lamar Jackson on any other football team this year. So I'm
Not
happy they got
either.
that done.
We called it. We said it was going to be like that. So like it. I'm glad they did right by it, and it worked. Oh, at the Knicks game, to the right of Sauce was King Hendrick Lundqvist there. So they had like an all-star row right there of New York legends around
Oh,
them. So
okay. Did you have the Queen at your game?
no, we didn't have the Queen in my
Not the
game.
Queen,
Queen's dead.
the Duchess.
No, we didn't. Who cares?
Wasn't it she
Keep
at
that
the
shit.
Laker game? Meghan Markle.
Yeah, man, because they fucking fled England to go to fucking LA. So let
Was
them
it
be.
Brexit?
Brexit. It's another
Is
Brexit.
that what they did, right? I don't really
Basically, yeah.
know. I'm sorry, I don't understand. That's like if the North and the South finally decided to split up. Is that what it is? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Brexit. I mean, Brexit was England leaving out of the European Union. So like that, England leaving out of the European Union. So
Anyway, just so y'all know, Boston's kicking our ass right now. So whatever. But anyway, um let's hop into the basketball world. Like the
let's do
NBA
it.
playoffs have been pretty exciting, actually. We kicked things off with Dillon Brooks. Oh, and sorry, really quickly, I said I wanted to say this with Will Levis. So the first round, at first I was like laughing, like, oh, he ain't gonna be a first round pick, right? And then I woke up the next morning and I was like, yo, what the hell is wrong with me? Like, why am I preying on somebody's downfall? You know what I mean? Like, why am I so invested in this guy's life that I hope he doesn't get drafted? Like, he never done nothing to me. So uh sometimes when you watch the sport, guys, please just have like a conscious, like, yo, the human beings. Why are we preying on this human being's downfall when they did shit to you but eat bananas with the skin on and put mayonnaise in their
And put
coffee?
mayonnaise.
Yeah, that's weird, but it ain't got shit to do with you. He can go in the first round if he wants. Like that shit was sad. How they keep showing his face, his shown ass girlfriend ain't trying to be with him no more. Like that's kind of messed up. So just don't be so down on these players. But he's 21 years old. Like their lives are about to change, and we talking shit about them. So that's my only. I had a little
And
problem with
even at
that.
that, and before we continue to basketball, even at that with your friends too. Don't tear your friends down. When things are going good for them,
Yeah.
like be there in the moment for them. Like me, I'm a Knicks fan. I'm a Knicks fan, and you know damn well all my friends how I felt about this team, and I've never felt this way. I've always rooted for them, but I'm on the bandwagon. Don't give me some shit, talking your shit, making me feel bad, this, and that. Congratulate me. Good win. See you in Miami. That's all I need. Don't come in with some sneak shit. Don't come in with some sneak shit. Be happy for me, okay? And I'll see you
Yeah.
in Miami.
What A-Rod said before I get mad. But anyway, I don't know if I this play, but who was I talking about when I got to Will Levis? Who's the
Dillon
guy
Brooks.
that?
Dillon
Oh,
Brooks.
Dillon
Dillon
Brooks. Dillon Brooks. So obviously, we all know the situation with him. He talked all this shit, called LeBron old. I poke bears, pause. Like he did all his dumb shit.
Oh, LeBron?
I,
Supreme.
he, he did all his dumb shit.
Are we good in the West, huh?
Hey, we fine in the West. Listen, I want to say this.
Before you continue, you called it. You said ever since John Morris said we're fine in the West, it's been the.
I said, yo,
right,
that shit don't smell right no more.
Down.
Shit did not smell, and you know how I am about my smells, right? I can smell that shit from Cancun. I'm like, yo, this shit does not smell right no more.
You've got good noses when it comes to sports.
Yeah, I'll put that shit on. We put that shit on a poll. Like, do you think they're gonna make it out the first round? A lot of people said no because they can smell that shit too. So I felt like this. Think about it. They were already trying to trade away Dillon Brooks during the All-Star break, like before the All-Star break. I mean, like they've been trying to get rid of him. All right, they get to the playoffs, the second seed, so they feeling themselves. They've been doing the little dances outside of the freaking tunnel. Like they think they're so cute. You know, John Morant holding guns everywhere. Like shit got crazy this year for this team. And we talked about. You started to see it last year when they were declaring themselves a dynasty, talking shit to Golden State.
Got to win shit. Got to win shit to get
talking shit to Golden State. The most they've been the most dominant team over the last decade. Y'all have not won shit. Y'all have not. Y'all traded away Paul Gasol so that the Lakers can go win championships. Like that's what y'all did. So I don't know. That's why like people go for the career to kind of just die sometimes. Like they sent my boy Allen Iverson there. He's like, yes, they say it's not gonna work. They said they tried to send Danny Green there. Danny Green said, no, buy my contract out. Like they tried to send Andre Iguodala there. He's like, no, I'm not playing here. That's not a good environment to be in. Memphis is a dangerous place on top of that. So it's that Dillon Brooks shit. Look, nobody has a problem with you talking shit, right? At the end of the day, we don't want everybody to be all nice and rosy with flowers and shit. We want to see the competitiveness. Like I would say this playoffs has been the most physical, mountain, like people talking back and forth, like the most 90s feeling series in a very long time, since like the Detroit days with Ben Wallace and them. That's the last time it felt like, oh, these motherfuckers are scary, right? So to me, you're starting to see a little bit more of that. And Dillon Brooks, he had every right to say what he wanted to say, but you can't not back it up at all and then duck the media right after that. Like it's soft. It's the softest. Like Draymond Green. One thing about Draymond, he have a garbage night. He's still gonna do his podcast and let y'all know he had a garbage night. He's still gonna do the press conference if he decides to and tell y'all I play like trash. Like he's still gonna let the people know.
Dennis Rodman, got the rings to back it up, and he got the rings to back it up.
Dennis Rodman, and he was crazy.
And the hardwood.
Yeah, and Dennis Rodman, he was crazy. He did stupid shit sometimes. Sometimes he don't get the 17 rebounds. Sometimes he got kicked out of the game. But he ain't gonna run for the media. Like, this is who he is. That's the role that he decided to play. Dillon Brooks wanted to be a villain, called himself Villain Brooks. And now you can't take the media. They started blaming the media oh, it's the media's fault. Y'all made me to be the villain. No, you've been doing this shit since you started.
You made
Like,
it yourself. You
I
made yourself,
remember when they
bro.
played LeBron 2-3 years ago. Like I think he dunked on LeBron or blocked the shot, or whatever, and then he stood over him and started flexing and yelling. I was like, okay, and LeBron looked at him like, all right, cool, whatever. And LeBron told him last year, you know, he remember when they got into a little like a verbal altercation at the free throw line. Like he was like, yo, y'all talking so much shit. Y'all make a basket and y'all think like this and that. Like LeBron loves to humble these kids, bro. Like that's his main goal in life. And before game, what was it, game 4? Yeah, it was game 4 when he walked up to him and said some shit to his face. I was like, yo, what the hell did he say to him? Like Dillon Brooks kind of looked shook. And it was downhill from there for Dillon Brooks. So I don't like that they used him as a scapegoat for them sucking, but like he is a main contributor to why they were distracted. Like he has to hear that shit all the time. And yes, John Morant, yeah, he had distractions too, but ain't nobody talking about guns in the last month and a half. Ain't nobody talking about that. Like it's so far removed from our memory when no one cares. All we've been talking about over the last month is Dillon Brooks. Like that's a distraction. So to me,
no, go ahead.
no, you got it.
I was just gonna say, like they've already reported they're gonna move on from that contract. Yeah. However, they did offer him a contract to renew, and he rejected it.
Yeah.
So
because he wants his role to be different.
Yeah, because before John Morant got there, he was the main option. He was the guy who was the supposed star player, a role player, but was scoring the 19,
just
18
you guys
points
know
a game.
He's putting up quotations, so you know, supposed for real, supposed.
For real,
ain't better than Desmond Bain. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, well, Desmond Bain, I didn't know Desmond Bain was going to be this good. Desmond Bain
solid,
is
solid.
It's pretty solid, but like, the only thing with Desmond Bain, and I don't want to stick on him, it's just like I don't see that next jump. It's just like we got rookie year, and then we got next year, and it was just a little bit more, but it's like there's nothing there. He doesn't have like that kill mentality like I see players
that dude
play second.
That dude look like he does is like 1,000 curls a day. He got kill mentality to me.
Yeah,
scare the hell out of me.
He don't scare me. He don't scare me in an NBA game. He may look big, but he might be the wrong sport. We don't know. But he's a baller. He's a baller. But Dillon Brooks, it's going to be interesting what his next saga is going to be, where he's going to end up. And I text you, I was like, it'd be so funny if he ended up with it'd be so funny if he ended up with the Lakers. It would be so funny if
it wouldn't be funny because that's what LeBron does. Kobe did it too. Matt Barnes got in his face. He's like, yo, somebody who's crazy enough to do that shit to me, I want you on my team. Ron Artest.
But
you're crazy. I want you on my team.
But I don't feel like Dillon Brooks is that type of caliber. I know they have all these clips of him saying LeBron is his favorite player in the NBA, and this, like, I think LeBron can read character and understand. And like Lance Stevenson, he played with him after the shit Lance Stevenson did.
He never took Lance Stevenson seriously.
I know, but he was out there, guitaring it up with him and shit.
And then next thing you know, they were best friends.
Exactly. I just don't feel like Dillon Brooks has to like find his. I think the problem with Dillon Brooks right now, and I don't want to stick on Dillon Brooks because they're done, they're out, they're gone. Yeah. Grizzlies are gone. We call that shit. Get veterans if you're the Grizzlies and you're listening. Get veterans.
That's all I've been saying. Please.
The thing with Dillon Brooks is he's going through an identity crisis right now. He doesn't know who he wants to be. Yeah, he doesn't know who he wants to be. And do you want to be a villain? Do you want to be that guy that gets under the skin? Or do you want to be like when you first came in this league and you were, a shooter? You were a stretch guy. That's the kind of player you are. But you try to play that I'm defense. I'm a shit talker. I can hang with Draymond. I can hang with all these guys, and you clearly can't. And when the media starts coming,
did you watch him in college?
Yeah, I remember him in college.
Was he like this in college too?
He was a shooter. He was
but was he like a talker like this?
No. He was very humble. Yeah. So for him to do this whole flip, it's very strange for me to see this in an NBA player.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's somebody needed to be a villain on that team, and he was going to embrace that role. But let me tell you something. Like, if you're going to go, The greatest shit talker of all time to me is The Rock. That is the best shit talker ever. And I
LeBron.
don't think anybody, The Rock is the greatest
Oh,
shit
The
talker ever.
Rock.
Yeah.
Oh, hell
The Rock.
yeah.
The Rock is the greatest
Hell
shit
yeah.
talker. Nobody could match The Rock. I mean, Stone Cold could come out there and be, I had a beer, I had another beer, and
Stone
a
Cold
Bloody
my favorite
Mary.
wrestler,
But
by the way. But The Rock, shit
yeah, I mean,
talking.
The Rock is mine and the Stone Cold. But all I'm saying is like nobody could match his pitch, and nobody will ever match his pitch. And for you to think that you can hang with Draymond Green, the only way you can hang with Draymond Green is if you knock him out the playoffs. And you know what? You haven't done it. You
Couldn't do
want to
it.
go at LeBron? You want to come for the king? The king ain't dead. The king is going on to the next round. And you know where you're going? 1, 2, 3, Cancun.
Think
So
about
find
it.
your identity. Be a shooter. You know where I think he fits the best, to be honest with you?
Where?
Phoenix. Phoenix. That's where he's going to fit best.
Yeah, I mean, dog, real talk. If the Phoenix Suns had Mikal Bridges right now, that's it. Just add him to this team. They'd be locked to me. Like, they would be locked because they got rid. And I don't want to jump to Phoenix just yet. We're about to get to the playoffs, but Dillon Brooks, good luck. You're not going to play in the Gong Tigers or whatever. Don't go listen to all that shit. You need to go see a therapist. Yeah, you got to go see a therapist because this is obviously going to cause you some stress because every time you go on social media, somebody about to say shit.
And one last thing, that exit interview that you have with the Grizzlies, be as professional as you can be
I think
because
he's already
teams
done
are going to call him. Just be professional, bro. Just be professional because people know why they get Pat Bev. They know why they get Pat Bev. They don't know why they're getting you. We thought you were a shooter, but now you're a villain. You're only a villain. You can't lock down LeBron.
All right.
40 years old. I want to
fool.
like Dillon Brooks. I really do. I really want to like him because I watched him in college and I was like,
Yeah.
Memphis got a good deal here. But no, I
You
don't like him
who
anymore.
you know who put me through that same roller coaster? That's how I felt about Draymond because like I tend to like Michigan State basketball players.
I
Like
love Draymond. I
I've
knew what I
always
was
been a
getting.
fan of Michigan State basketball players. And then he got to the league. I have no issue with him. But then like, he became the frenemy of LeBron. But at first he was just the enemy. So I just like, nah, man,
Of course, yeah.
F Draymond. And then I realized I love everything
It's
about
competitive.
Draymond Green.
Exactly. It's competitiveness
I love everything about him.
It's a brotherhood, and LeBron realizes the competitive nature of Draymond. And I was the same exact way.
The thing with Draymond, like he controls that Warriors team. Like he makes all that shit happen because he's unselfish, don't give a shit. He gonna pick up your best player. He gonna make the right pass. He's gonna set the right screen. Like he does all the dirty work for Steph Curry to be happy, Clay to be happy when they had Durant. So he has all the they allow him to get the 16 technicals a year and get suspended. And they allow it because of all the little things that he brings. If you're gonna be that person, you got to bring something. And Dillon Brooks was not bringing shit no more. All he did was bring bad attention to the locker room, and they got waxed by 40 in Game 6. So good riddance to the Memphis Grizzlies. Y'all need some growing up to do. Enjoy Cancun, but y'all need.
All right, let's talk about the second round.
I
Let's
know. I'm
go.
about to get to it right now, cuzzo. All right. So
All right.
we'll start with the East because obviously that's our conferences. You go ahead with your series. Go.
Jimmy Butler is him. Jimmy Butler is good. Not having to play Jimmy Butler in one game was definitely godsend. You know
Y'all
what?
would
I
have lost
never
game
had
two.
Y'all
Y'all would have lost
nah,
game two.
no, I don't think so.
Y'all did not play well in game two. Y'all are very fortunate y'all won that game.
We didn't, but I've never ever said this out loud. Now I understand why people hate Scott Foster. Like Scott Foster is an abomination to the NBA. Like he needs to go. Like he's not a good coach. He gets pissed off at everything. I think he has vendettas against players.
Yeah,
And there were calls on both sides.
He makes his
Like,
shit about himself. I hate refs that do.
So I don't like Scott Foster. And I mean, Julius Randle definitely showed up big Game 2. I mean, game 1, he obviously didn't play. He has that ankle injury. They waited, and he played great. Jalen Brunson, him,
He's
fucking
him for real.
Started off slow. But the one thing I'm taking away from this, and Tibbs, I don't understand your game calling, your management of this team. I know you brought in Obi Toppin to replace Julius Randle. There is no fucking reason that man is taking 11 threes in a game. There's no reason for this. These kids want to be Kobe. These kids want to be Ray Allen. They want to be Steph Curry. I'm over this bullshit. Okay? Obi Toppin, your fucking job, grab rebounds, set screens, open
He
dunks,
be making some of
and
these threes. He be making some.
no. Don't give my boy credit. Don't give him any credit for shit. I don't want to hear that stuff. I don't want to hear any of that shit. Then what's the guy Reed for your team? Let him line up and take some threes.
Yeah,
I want
but
to see him take
he's
a couple.
not dumb. We didn't bring him here to
Yeah.
do that. Y'all
Okay.
brought in Obi.
So don't cheer my boy on and say that he's not dumb. So you basically just call Obi Toppin dumb for taking threes.
He is dumb.
So he is dumb. I think he's dumb. They had a clip of Josh Hart saying, "Shoot all the threes you want." No, don't. I know Josh Hart's going to get rebounds for a little boy, but no, Obi Toppin needs to be playing down low. And I watched him the second game, and he was frustrated. And I'm happy Tibbs was taking him out. But Obi Toppin had 2 field goals that game. Guess where they were from?
The 3?
3. And he missed both.
That's terrible. Now that's bad.
It is. But the thing is, like, you have to understand your roles. Like, how much do we preach that we hate big men that think they're little guys?
Oh, I got something for you. Now I'm happy you said that. Remind me. I got to remember that. But go ahead.
But I mean, the Heat are a scrappy team. Like you said, how Draymond is for the Warriors. Jimmy Butler is that guy. Jimmy Butler came out in a what do you call it? A pullover.
Fur coat.
And at halftime, he was in a tank top eating popcorn on the sidelines, and he was getting these boys to get busy. And Caleb Martin, all he had to do was get away from the shadow of his twin brother and pierce away from that, and those boys can shoot.
Does not know how to run a basketball team. How you let that dude just get away from you? Like
I don't think Caleb Martin is that good. I just think Jimmy Butler gets in his ear and can channel Jimmy into him. Like,
they
Jimmy
all go
Butler,
to the same hairstylist too, because all their braids look exactly the same. But my bad.
Yeah, the Knicks got to go to South Beach, and it's going to be tough. Like, the crowd doesn't scare me in South Beach. They're fair weather fans. New York is going to show up there. The only thing that scares me the most, and I was trying to go to one of those games, but it's $600 a ticket, so I will not be going to one of those games. It sucks. Against the Milwaukee, they were cheaper. They were like $150 a ticket. So
because they didn't think they was going to win.
Yeah. So I need these guys to know their roles. Just like The Rock says, know your role and shut your mouth. Okay. Yeah. So know your roles. Jalen Brunson, hopefully you got a lot of time for this ankle to heal. Julius Randle, you got time for this ankle to heal. Hartenstein, oh, bro, I love that boy. I was poo-pooing on that. There's your word of the day again. I was poo-pooing on them for.
But we didn't get the word of the day, though.
Or the phrase of the day. But he's godsend. He's a rebounding machine. Mitch Robinson stayed out of foul trouble. I love this series.
I was watching that Heat game with Ron Angelo De La Cruz, and he told me that Hartenstein was half black. Is that true?
It's what?
Hartenstein is half black.
No, he's not.
Bruh, he showed me a picture of his dad. That dude looked kind of dark-skinned. I was confused. From Germany, bro. I know, but he might have like a German father that's black.
I don't think so. I'll do my work. I don't care, but like, he's a rebounder. That's all I care. I don't care if he's orange, bro. Just
I know
he's a Muppet.
I'm just literally I'm literally just inquiring for
yeah, I don't think he is, but I just know, like, boy, I know why they went and got him now. And I never saw that with the Clippers, but this Knicks team
confirmed. Hartenstein is the son of Florian, a German basketball coach and former basketball player of Afro-German descent. Wow.
Okay.
I didn't know he was a brother too. Oh, that's crazy.
Brother and Jewish. Look at that. So good
Right?
for him.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
But it's gonna be tough for them in South Beach. I'm excited for it. I'm saying Knicks in 6, but I think it's gonna be a 7-game series this one because Jimmy Butler is just. We got to see how that ankle is on Jimmy. We
But
got to
that's the
see.
thing.
Got a lot of time.
That's the thing. How
Mhm.
bad is that ankle? Because this is my problem with Todd Thibodeau, right? Y'all should be up 2-0 right now. Jimmy Butler hurt his ankle with 4 minutes left on the clock. Did not get off the court. How the hell are you not running all your action at Jimmy Butler? Like, they'll play one-on-one on the other side of the court. I'm like, yo, the dude cannot walk. Give Jalen Brunson ISO and that little floater that he's been doing all night long and make Jimmy Butler play
Because you know
defense on
why?
you.
Because you know why? They keep thinking they're Steph. The whole team thinks too many 3-pointers. You take 3-pointers when you're losing by a lot or you're up by a lot. A 10-point lead doesn't suffice to just shoot threes. Go for the dagger. Twist that little apocalypto knife. Remember the movie Apocalypto where you got that knife and just stuck it in them? Just stick that knife in them, bro. They're good at offensive rebounding. If you miss it, Mitchell Robinson's grabbing it. Josh Hart is grabbing. Julius Randle, they're grabbing these boards. They're the best offensive rebounding team in the NBA. Just do that. Stop taking threes. You're not the Warriors. You're not the fucking Warriors. God, it's annoying. And Obi Toppin, if I see you shoot a 3, I'm coming. I'm coming to New York. I'm booking my flight, and I'm coming. I'm gonna fucking rip your ACL out, man, bro. I'm over it. I'm a Mortal Kombat
he's
your
very
ass.
passionate, guys. Hold up now. Relax. It's okay.
I love Obi Toppin too, man. I just don't like seeing him take threes. It makes no sense.
Knox. Remember that draft pick? That was terrible.
Get me started. He's not there. But anyways.
All right. Let me talk about the
entertaining series. All right.
We getting blown up by 30 points right now. So it's going back to Philly 1-1. I do want to give a huge shout out to Joel Embiid for winning most valuable player. It's about time. I do think there was zero reason for us to play him tonight because we already stole home court. Let him rest another few days. So that's what I always tell y'all every year. Doc Rivers be doing shit that don't make sense to me. And that's one of the shit that don't make sense. Doc Rivers be just irking me. So today, we getting blown out. It is what it is. We'll move on. I do like what I saw from James Harden, obviously, but how many times can he do that? Because it took a miraculous performance for us to beat Boston. We need 3 more of those because we just lost by 30 points. So they're definitely better than us. And that's what my fear was going into the series. We ain't out better than Boston. So we need miraculous performance from James Harden like 2 more times. I need Maxey to go for like 60. Like, I need everything to go right now. So we're going back 1-1. It is what it is. And then the New York Knicks series and Miami Heat series, like you said, it's going to probably go 7. It all kind of depends on Jimmy Butler's health, though. Like, if he can't go, y'all have zero excuse to me. Like, they said 78 points or whatever made by the Knicks by the Heat yesterday were all from undrafted players. That is a record in the playoffs. All undrafted players. Yo, this is not sustainable. So if Jimmy Butler can't come back, it's going to be the New York Knicks versus the Boston Celtics in the conference finals. And ain't nobody trying to play Boston. So good luck. Good luck.
Can we give Spoelstra some credit now? Like,
oh yeah, no, he's a dog.
Bold prediction. I mean, he could be better than Pop. Could be better coach than Pop. I think
impossible.
Hear me out on this. Hear me out on this hot take. I respect Pop's coaching ability. I do. But Pop did it with that same core for the most part.
Yeah, that's right.
Spoelstra's done it with 3 different cores.
Yeah.
That's some amazing stuff to do right there.
No, you're right.
That's like crazy.
I will say Popovich was spoiled with Tim Duncan.
He was.
Spoiled. Super spoiled. And the moment Tim Duncan slipped out of his fingers, They've been the worst team in the league like the last 5 years.
Let's pray they get the French kid, man, because we said it a couple episodes ago. They're good with the big man. Like he knows
I
how
would
to.
like for them to get it.
I would too. That's
Yeah.
what I want. Because the Magic, like they've just been stockpiling draft picks for the last couple of years. Same thing with the Pistons. Like they've just stockpiled all these guys, and it's like you're not the guy.
I would
You're
hate for him to go to Detroit. Hate that.
I would.
Absolutely hate that.
I want to see Cade. I want to see Cade be really good,
Yeah.
healthy. Paulo's definitely the guy there. Just get players to put around him. You've got all these.
The Magic need veterans. They need grown-ups. Again, that's another team that needs grown-ups right now.
Detroit does too. Detroit needs grown-ups as well, man.
And I was looking at the free agency list. I don't want to talk about it this episode. We'll talk about that like later in the summer. There's a lot of good free agents out there that can help a team like Orlando. Not Eric. What's his name from Jaylen Brown? Chris Middleton, Draymond Green. Like, there's some guys out. I mean, your boy Kyrie Irving, he would be a horrible fit for Orlando. But yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. It's
I give Spoels a lot of credit because
it's hard when you have LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh. It's like it's so hard to like separate himself from that. But what he's done with Jimmy Butler, I mean, he made it back to the finals back in 2020. And I do gotta say, everybody who is talking shit about the bubble championship and bubble playoffs, look who's still there. Denver, Los Angeles, Miami, Boston. Like, it's the same teams. So Jamal Murray went off in game one, just like he went off in the bubble. Like, people thought the bubble shit was fake. No, this is real basketball. When the NBA is wide open like this, you see the best talent. And this is the most wide open it's been in a while. So we're seeing a lot of this. This playoffs has been fantastic. So Eric Spoelstra is definitely a very good coach. We'll see if he's better than Pop, because Pop does have 5 of them Johns, and
he does.
He got them Johns separated, not like in a row, like 02, 05, like he just kept racking them up.
Yeah, I won't say he's better. I'm just saying, like, we got to put him in that same conversation right now, like Phil Jackson's and the stuff like that, because Phil Jackson,
Larry Brown. I'll put him in a Larry Brown category.
Oh no! I can't.
I'll put him in Larry Brown,
because we'll get on that another day.
It's another. Hey, this is late after the season. We'll get that, because he might win this. He might win the championship this year. So
exactly, it gets it going with these guys. West. Let's start with Denver.
Can we please start with? We'll get to Los Angeles. Can we please start with Phoenix and Denver, please?
Yeah, let's do it.
Right. I've been all over this. Y'all don't listen to me. One thing that I know,
I gave you props too. I gave you props,
and I appreciate that. One thing I can tell you, I've been watching basketball since I was 4 years old, like that I can remember. I've been obsessed with the sport. I pay attention to shit. I know trends and all that stuff. And I said maybe 2 episodes ago, or whatever, when it happened, whatever it was, I said, so basically this is Brooklyn on the West Coast, because it's the same problems. They lack depth that they actually could trust. They don't play defense, and they're relying on 2 superstars to score a lot. Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant once, and now they're relying heavily on Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. And Devin Booker, he's having himself a fantastic playoffs. I got to give it to him offensively, obviously. But one thing we don't remember, right? LeBron 38, Steph 35. How old is Kevin Durant? He's probably like, what, 36 now?
35, 36, something like that.
1988, he's 35. Like, the dude, he's 34, he turns 35 this year. The dudes are not, they've been playing basketball for a long time. The NBA, like, they come into the league at 18, 19 years old now. The legs are not as fresh as you want them to be. That's why he's shooting 9 for 27 or some shit like that. Like, he's the most efficient basketball player I've ever seen, right? But the legs gonna get tired if he has to do all that scoring. And we talking about roles, people accepting their roles. That's DeAndre Ayton for me right now. Like, I've lost a lot of love that I have for DeAndre Ayton. For over the last year and a half, 2 years, he's been saying shit or doing the wrong shit so much. And we talk about accepting roles, right? if he accepted his role to be like what Nick Claxton was for the Brooklyn Nets when Kyrie and Durant was there, or like what Clint Capella does for the Atlanta Hawks, or like you're not Giannis, you're not Embiid, you're not DeMarcus Cousins, even you're not even DeMarcus Cousins. He's playing in Puerto Rico right now. That's not you, right? You need to understand that you are there to now grab rebounds, block some shots, and get some easy putbacks. But you're not happy that the play is not being ran through you. So what? Devin Booker is scored 70 in a game before. I've seen it. Kevin Durant. I've seen so much with Kevin Durant. Why? And Chris Paul, old ass, he's still a better option than you getting the ball sometimes. So talking about role accept, he needs to accept the fact that he's not that. I understand you're the number one overall pick, so you think so much highly of yourself. Look, before you become like somebody who's forgotten about, you need to accept this. This is who I need to be for this team to be. Like, think about Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh was like that, but he sacrificed his own talent while he went to Miami because he knew what was going to be best to win the championship. That's the problem. A lot of players are not willing to make that sacrifice. And I think DeAndre Ayton is a candidate for somebody who needs to make that sacrifice so that Phoenix can take it to the next level. But he won't do it. They have no bench. Chris Paul is hurt again and old. And I said it before the playoffs. I said, he's going to get hurt, right? Like I kept saying, like, it's inevitable. Shoulder, hamstring, knees, quad, groin. It's going to happen. So you have no backup. Payne. Cameron Payne, he's not good. He's not, to me, he's like a broke, I can't even think of somebody. He don't do it for me, right? And then, everybody else is unplayable. They don't even play TJ Warren. It's like, you could have had Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, and Jake Crowder.
They have no bench. And, I was looking past and I was like, they're scary without the bench, but the bench for the Nuggets is fresh and good, and
the Nuggets is deep.
Yeah. So
you think they can sweep them or no?
Yeah, no Chris Paul. I see it. I see it. Maybe a gentleman's sweep, but I see a clean sweep.
You don't think like Booker go for like 51 game or Durant go for like 50? Because you remember that one game Durant had against Milwaukee when he just went stupid crazy. I feel like Durant got one of those left in him right now. But Durant gets swept 2 years in a row would be bad for his legacy.
It will, but I also think play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Like,
but who played the stupid game here?
Kevin Durant. You jumped ship from the same team to the same team.
Yeah, and they could have won the East.
No bench.
They could have won the East.
Could have won the East.
Milwaukee's already out. Like, damn.
Kevin Durant, like, that's why I told you I respect his game, but like his decision as a player and the way he carries himself, I just think he's a snake. Like, he doesn't go to a place and like he did try it with Brooklyn. He did try, and I'll give him his props. But I'll give him his props. He stayed out of the stupid shit. Yeah. He ain't want none part of the Kyrie circus. Yeah. He wanted to get healthy and get back on the court just to do what? Play basketball. But Kyrie did all the dumb shit, and he had to put the team on his back, and they went out. But then he's like, you know what? I did this with the Warriors. I'm gonna go to Phoenix, like, because they already got the talent there already.
Yeah.
And they shipped off the entire team. So Phoenix is gonna be a hot commodity.
And you know the difference? Play. Kevin Durant was a free agent when he signed with the already loaded Golden State Warriors coming off of 73 wins. They didn't have to give up nothing. They had it, the cap room for it. They said, Harrison Barnes, bye-bye. We'll use that 30 million plus whatever for this guy. Common sense, right? So I give him credit. He made the right choice so that he can just get that shit out the way. Let me get the championships out the way. And now I can worry about winning my LeBron 2016 ring. You know what I mean? Like, LeBron's 2016 ring hold more weight than his Miami rings because of it was the one. That was the one. Like, every player needs to have that. Like, Steph Curry finally getting Finals MVP last year, and he went off too. He finally got that off his back. All right, I did it. I ain't got shit to worry about no more. Kevin Durant is still looking for that. LeBron's already done it twice now since then. Like, I think that's what he's going to be looking for, but he ain't getting that with Chris Paul as your point guard because he ain't gonna make it to the game 7.
Yeah, I just think like I think for whatever great game Booker has or KD has, I think the Nuggets just play smart basketball.
They
Like
do.
the way that I want the Knicks to play, like I watch them play. The way I watch want the Knicks to play is the way the Nuggets play. They don't take 3-pointers all the time. They get easy buckets down low because they know that they can crash the boards, grab the rebounds, and find open guys, find mid-range shooters. And if they need a three, they'll take a wide open three. But Joker ain't taking no threes unless he needs to. He's
Yo,
at the key and then
watching
down low.
watching him, bro, he is so good. Like, it does not look appealing to, like, if you're a casual fan, you're like, yo, what the hell am I watching, right? But I'm a basketball technician. I pay attention to a lot of things. He's one of the most skilled NBA players I've ever seen in my life. And his big, slow ass frame and everything, like, he just does everything so smart. Like, his brain is like how I see LeBron and Jason Kidd. Like, you can just see they levels ahead of you. That's how I look at Jokic. I'm like, I can see why these analytic nerds are in love with you. Like, that's why you've been winning these MVPs. You got that going for you, for sure.
Well, we were expecting of Porzingis, we got out of Jokic. So, like, I'm happy to see it.
Yeah.
And I respect his game. I'm happy he didn't win MVP because Joel definitely deserved it. I know the internet was time. The internet was calling it the here, fine, take the award, bro. Jeez.
Hey, but this is the first Michael Jordan MVP award, so my dog got some hardware. 26 pounds.
Yeah, 26 pound, 23 corners on it, all that shit. So, but I think the Nuggets can hold their own with them and sweep them. So that's all I got to say. That like Phoenix shot themselves in the foot getting rid of that bench, and not playing TJ Warren makes no sense to me. I don't know why.
Shit, Terrence Ross, he could get off too, but like they got what's his name? They got from Charlotte, Biyombo.
Yeah,
they got this one Caucasian cat that I've never seen before. Like I'm like, yo, if LeBron got to play against this, he'll whoop y'all too. Like Anthony Davis go for 40 and 20 against this big man, which brings me to the next series.
Yeah.
Game 1. First of all, obviously we were still waiting for the Kings series and the Memphis series last week. So we didn't know exactly if we were going to get this matchup. But now that we've gotten it, holy ratings, right? Like, I was going to say David Stern. Adam Silver is like, thank you, God. Thank you so much. We got old school Miami versus New York, 90 shit. We got LeBron versus Steph Curry. We got Boston and Philadelphia's crazy rivalry with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Embiid and Harden scoring 45. And we got, Jokic and Durant. Hey, that's cool, right? Yo, they got real lucky with this series because last night's game, the Lakers took game 1. Both teams looked impressive. Honestly, it's like you couldn't tell me like which team played better if you didn't show me if you didn't show me the final score. Like if you showed me the final score without me knowing what was going on, I'm like, is this game going to overtime? Like both teams played like the Warriors, right? They're a 3-point shooting team. They made 21 threes. 21 threes. They still found a way to lose, right? But they made 21 threes. So all they need to do defensively is, we got to do something with Anthony Davis, right?
Yes, I was just about to say that.
And that was what counteracted the 21 threes. Anthony Davis, look, and you remember when the top 75 list came out and, Anthony Davis was on there? I'm like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, Dwight Howard? Come on. Like, but every now and then he reminds you, I'm a top 75 player.
When he's healthy. Yeah,
they see it because I could see it. Like, he should be better than Giannis. He should be better than Jokic. And that's like
should be better than Embiid. He should be
theoretically, because he has point guard skills. So he should be the best big man in the league. And every now and then he goes 30 points, 23 rebounds, 5 blocks, 5 alterations, 4 assists. I'm like, yo, the dude is nice.
Let me say one thing. Like Anthony Davis has definitely impressed me. And you know who else has impressed me this entire time during the series is Kevin Looney. Kevin
Yo,
Looney,
that boy, the
Kevin
rebounds
Looney
absorbed.
exactly 4 games in a row with 20 plus
It's
rebounds.
crazy.
And if there's any guy on a team that knows his fucking role is Kevin Looney.
Thank you so
Kevin Looney
much.
knows his role because I
Thank
remember
you.
watching him in college and I was like, oh my god, the
It was a hooper.
He was a hooper. And then he had to sit behind Andrew Bogut. He had to sit behind whoever else was there. And when he finally came in,
Then they drafted Wiseman. Disrespectful.
yeah. And they said, we don't need him, man. We got you. And he knows his role.
Yeah.
He may get 10 points, but he's getting all the boards and defense, and he knows how to draw fouls. But Anthony Davis, oh my God. I saw him literally grab a rebound over him and Draymond. And I was like, Anthony Davis is back. I'm just waiting for him to grab
But
his
every time he clutches at something, you nervous as hell, right?
hell yeah, man. Because that's the X factor to me. The X factor is Anthony Davis's health. That's the only X factor. Because the Lakers, Jared Vanderbilt was doing his thing. He was guarding Steph. He was running around with Steph. Austin Reeves was a little bit shaky. But
let's be honest. The Lakers, if they all stay healthy and they can win a championship easily. Especially, there's no more Giannis to worry about. Boston might be tough, right? But they could beat every team that's left in the playoffs right now. Like Boston might be tough.
Watching the Nuggets play, they could give him a run.
The Nuggets could give him some fits, but remember, Anthony Davis against Jokic in the bubble, Anthony Davis whooped his ass.
He did, but this is a different Jokic now. It's a bigger.
And this is a different AD. Look at him, he's back.
But we say this all the time.
He was winning those MVPs back then too. You do know that, right?
I'm not. I am. It was his first MVP that he won, but I am not. I am. Anthony Davis is my X factor. I need him healthy, man. Trust me. I want the Lakers to go. I want Knicks and Lakers is what I would love.
I would love Sixers and Lakers. You know me.
I know. In a perfect world, we want LeBron there. We want to see LeBron. That's the test of time. And even if we lose, we're still going to be happy. We're going to be buttered. You will. You will be.
You and I have never seen our teams win an NBA championship in our lives.
No, I know, but at the same time, like I'd rather lose to LeBron than John Morant. I would rather lose to LeBron.
Oh yeah, that for sure.
Yeah. So it's like damn, this sucks, but LeBron's just so great, and we get to witness this, man, as opposed to John Morant. It's a parade in my city. I don't want to hear that shit,
bro. Parade in my city, yeah.
I don't want to hear that shit. But
what I tell you about NBA YoungBoy? I told y'all. Exactly. I told y'all. I told you.
Oh, LeBron James.
Oh man, but
this is a good series, man. Anytime the Warriors got to face LeBron, it's money.
Chess match.
Money. And don't, like I said, don't count the Warriors out, man. You can't count them out. I know they have that shitty on the road win percentage, but like they took care at the end. They took care of the end.
Sacramento. This is Ramon James, who's never lost a game 7 in his life.
No. So
Ramon James. No, he's lost one. It was against Boston back in like 07, something like that.
I'm excited for this series, man, because the Warriors are gonna come out guns blazing next time. I know that. Jordan Poole learned his mistake. Don't take that dumb shot that he took. But
was it a dumb shot? And sorry, LeBron's 6-2 in game 7. My bad. But was it a dumb shot? I mean, they all shoot like that. All of them do that. Clay would have made.
I just don't think
Steph would have shot it.
I think the angle of it and the way it hit the backboard, I just don't think it was the right shot or the person that took that shot. It was nervous. It was like, I want to be great like these guys. You're also living off the hype of last year, and we kind of saw Jordan Poole digress a little bit from what he did last year. So, I mean, he's having a great year, but he's still like not like what he was automatic last year, because they had to rely on him a lot when Steph was out, and he filled the role perfectly for him. Now they got to learn how to use Steph and him. So, I think Klay Thompson should have took that shot.
Well, I know to me, Klay Thompson is the best clutch player. Like game 6 Klay, that's real, dog. That's real. Klay Thompson has single-handedly been the reason why they won maybe 3 of their championships. I'm gonna be very honest with y'all.
Yeah.
But real quick on LeBron James, because he is in this series. He lost in 06 and 08 in game sevens. He hasn't lost one since. He has not lost the game 7 since 2008. It ain't happening. He rode home. He did it in Golden State. He did it in San Antonio in the finals. He don't give a damn. He gonna get that shit done if he needs to get it done. So don't let him get to 7. Don't let him get to 7. But uh, I really think that if the Lakers continue to play like this, it would be great for TV for them to go 7. Man, they should win that shit in 5 or 6, honestly. They'd probably get blown out game 5 because it's a Golden State home game, but I don't think Golden State making it out of LA with a dub in game 6. So even if it goes 7, I wouldn't be so worried about the Lakers winning game 7. But I really don't go like Golden State played excellent yesterday. Made 21 threes. It didn't matter. Dog. That 14-0 run that they had at the end, that was just, the Lakers be doing stupid shit like that, right? But they still lost. Like, they were still down 14 points with 3, 4, 5 minutes to go. So it wasn't like that didn't happen. So yeah, I don't know. I gotta see what they do in game 2. I gotta see how Steph responds. I mean, Vanderbilt's still guarding him. That is not going away. Anthony Davis still in the middle. That's not stopping. LeBron's gonna break out of the shooting slump at some point. Like, he's been horrible from 3 lately. But when the shit start to fall, the bitches be falling. So I'm gonna just say the Golden State need to be careful and not lose game 2. We'll see how tired, because Anthony Davis played 45 minutes last night. So they might come out real flat in game 2. But we'll see. We'll see how desperate they are. If they're desperate in game 2, LA, they ain't got no shot. Golden State ain't got no shot. So we'll leave it at that. But based on the teams that we got left, I'll give y'all the nod to win y'all series. I'll give Boston. To keep it real, I'll give Boston the nod to win theirs. And then on this side, Denver. And to me, I'm going Denver versus LA, and we're gonna run that shit back like they did in the bubble. So it's gonna be some good series though, for sure. But before we wrap it up, is there anything basketball really? Anything else for you? Like, anything on your mind? Free agency, a player?
No, I'm just the Knicks fulfilled what I wanted them to do, win a playoff series. Now they want a game in round 2. And this is the last time that they went there was with Carmelo Anthony, and then the Indiana Pacers put us out. So I'm excited.
At least y'all be losing to people like LeBron James, Paul George, back in Indiana, Paul George. If you lose to Jimmy Butler, there's nothing to be mad about. The only one you should be mad about is Trae Young. That's the only one
I'm very mad about Trae Young.
But that one you should be mad about.
I'm very mad about Trae Young, but I mean, hey, I'm happy with the growth of this team. I've never been behind this team so much that I am right now, and I love it. So just keep it going, man. And I'm excited for Saturday. It feels like it's so long away. They just played yesterday, and now they play Saturday. It's so long.
Hey, because it's your team. That's why. It's like the anticipation is different when it's your team. They blew us the hell out. 121-87. They made us look like Memphis. But yo, I gotta say real quick before we log off, Brian Cashman tells Yankee fans don't give up on us. Are you concerned that he's making a public service announcement on May 3rd, 2023?
I'm not concerned. They just won tonight.
That's weird.
It's so
the Yankees. Early. It's the Yankees, y'all.
But it's early, and there's injuries. Like, if you pay attention to sports and your team is injury ridden, it's inevitable. Like, you're not going to be good. So,
but why are you sounding the alarm and giving it energy?
Oh, I wouldn't. That's just dumb. But it's also New York media, so
they got him. They got him. They gonna get you.
The Yankees shouldn't be in last place. There's no reason for them to be there, but they are. And the Rays got hot, and the AL East is a tough division. And the Yankees will be fine. They'll be okay. They just need everybody back healthy. Once they're healthy,
Cashman.
Cashmere just needs to shut the fuck up and sign the checks. That's what he needs to do.
Y'all 8.5 games back. Sheesh. Don't worry, the Phillies, we garbage. So we lost to the Dodgers again. But that's all I got. You got anything else on your mind?
I got nothing, man. I'm excited for the weekend, Cinco de Mayo. The Knicks play game 3 in Miami.
Yo, what you doing on Friday? You trying to go to First Friday and save me from my misery? Please, please.
Don't do that.
I gotta go hang out. I gotta go hang out with people I probably don't even want to hang out with, man. Just come on down, bro. Come on.
All right. Just to relieve you,
Hey yo, who plays on Friday? I gotta look that up. But where can they find us?
You can find us on Twitter at fair_weather_pod. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Search the Fair Weather Podcast, and wherever you listen to podcasts regularly, you can catch our audio on all of those platforms. Words of wisdom, take it away.
My words of wisdom is not really words of wisdom. It's more so like, don't give up on yourself. Yo, remember I told you I started playing ball again a couple weeks ago, right? Week one was garbage. Week 2 was average. Today, boy, that jump shot is back. I've been practicing, guys. I've been practicing over the last few weeks. I was butter. I made 2 game-winning shots out of the games we played. I was buttered. So all I'm gonna say is, don't ever give up, bro. Like it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back. That's all we got. Fly Eagles fly. Go Bulldogs.
One thing. KD, I got one question to you.
Yeah.
Gone 0-2. Don't you wish you came to the Knicks now, KD? Huh?
Hey KD, I got one question for you.
Don't you wish you came to the Knicks? Shout out.